Okay, hello. How's it going? So, we don't actually have our former player. Something came up at the last minute, and there you go. So the three new players will be taking the ship on their own and doing their own thing and meeting the patron or meeting their new client and all that stuff. So it's gonna be super fun. So, do you guys want to introduce yourselves and stuff? Leo, you're in the top corner. Why don't you start?
I'm Leo. I am playing the captain of this ship as Liam Carter.
Okay.
I've Twitch at CyberwolfXAX. It's not currently on the screen, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, I'll put that up next time. And Derek, I think you're next on the top.
So I'm Derek Hamlin. I'm playing Craig, who's he's a shield guy.
Okay, cool. And,
Craig is Craig.
And
It's no...
finally, and least, I mean, and not least at all in any way, it's Brock, the one with the viewers. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Hi, my name's Brock. I am Saint Guard on Twitch. I stream a lot. I'm hosting this right now. I'm also at Saint Guardly on Twitter, and I am playing Sequoia, who is a hacker / pilot type. So she's gonna be interesting. Let's see what goes on with this.
And our missing player is Paul, who plays Audie, the human, who likes to shoot things and do crazy stuff, and isn't here. So, we will be picking him up next time. But let's just get things started, I guess. Before we start, did you guys have any specific questions? I don't know if you've had a chance to look or see anything of the game. Or have any idea how anything works. You have a bunch of skills that you can put on what they
I have no
are.
questions.
Yes.
I said I have no questions.
Oh. Well, that's less useful than having questions.
Yeah.
I think the only question I have is where are we starting?
Oh, well, I'll get to that.
That is a very good question.
Exactly. It's the only real question I have.
Okay, well, let's start at the furthest distances. This is the map of a sector. A sector of space is a sector because they're easy places to fold space to. The easiest place is the center of a big cone of space-time. It's known as the hub. And then you fold out and out and out, and you go through what is known as, the hub region. There's 4 of those, so that is a cluster of regions. And then outside that is the prime, and on the furthest side is the edge. And so you see all those little hexagons. Those are all star systems. And by real space, they might not necessarily be right next door to each other, but who gives a shit about real space? You have a full drive, and that's what you use to travel. So that is where you are. You are currently, as we zoom in on the map with much better special effects than I can see in real life here, you zoom in on Thales system, HS-12. So right here. And you zoom in on, yes, ooh, look, purple zoom too. Anyway, so you zoom in on that, and we find ourselves, let's actually bring the map over of Thales. We find ourselves, you see this massive bright blue typo star as you pass across a rival station, through the system, seeing these little planets and dust, and such, and finally find yourself in the outer system, and one of the moons of a vast ocean giant, you see a silicate planet in orbit of that giant, and you zoom in on that to a pretty much a cafe, and there's where you guys are sitting. And so you are on a cafe on Dowmesis, and you've recently been recruited. You were recruited just a few days ago, and you kind of just been hanging out with these otherwise pretty much strangers on this small planet that's pretty much mostly run by your corporate patron, Zumi Musk IG, or Zumi Musk Intergalactic. So you see the large corporate signs and everything. So the cafe is on a pretty much like a walking street. There's the odd kind of hover car kind of vehicle that goes floating past, and it looks like kind of like the middle of the night. The air is a little ruddy, and you're basically sitting there and having a meal of some sort in the evening. So let's picture scene. What are you all eating? Leo, you want to start? You're the captain. What did the captain order?
I am the captain now. Just sitting there eating a bagel.
Just eating a bagel.
Just quite happily sitting there munching on a bagel.
Okay, so your character is a what are you again?
A space angel.
Oh
Yep.
yes, you're kind of a massive Alatus. So you have this very kind of powdery white or off-white. Like, what color is it? It's a very pale calcium color, but it can be anything from like a yellow to a white kind of color.
I'd say it's grey.
Yeah, so
Gray.
it's kind of a gray color, and then you have feathers of what are your feathers like? They can be pretty much any color. I mean, they start a powdery color and then they change at the base.
Black at the base and powdery.
Okay, so you have like black feathers, and you're kind of black and white. I kind of wonder if that's how Liam Carter captains. Everything is black and white. Excellent.
You'll get to see.
Sitting next to him is one of you fellas. Who's sitting next to the captain? It's like a booth.
I feel like they're both too intimidated. They're sitting across from me.
I think I would sit across from you. Also because probably the height differential looks kind of cool for this.
Yeah, so you're sitting across from him. So the camera just expands across, and you're sitting there. Or what are you eating?
Sequoia is eating. Oh God. So Sequoia is a Yukon, and Yukons are geophages. So they eat like minerals and stuff like that. So I guess like eating. I like the image of eating like a solid bar of iron or something like that.
Okay, so you're eating like this piece of this metal. You're slicing it up and eating it, and it's not what you call solid, but it is like been softened with a variety of acids, so it's sliceable. Right. And it's got this like really delicious sauce on it, and it's good. It tastes a little bit like dirt, just like you like it.
I still can't get used to looking at that.
Yes, I'm actually trying to remember what the Alatus eat. Oh, they're omnivores, indeed. Okay, so finally, Craig is sitting next to the captain. And what are you eating?
I think he'd be, because he's a carnivore, right?
Yeah.
So he'd be sitting there, and this is the morning time, right?
It's actually kind of weird. This planet has a 12-hour rotational period.
Gotcha.
So it's what you would kind of consider noon, but it's dark, right? Because it's night. So a standard day in the Orion Quadrant is 20 hours, and so people consider 10 hours day and 10 hours night kind of activities. Depending on how long your species has to sleep, you may sleep the entire night or parts of it. Like humans only sleep like usually around 8 hours of the night. That sort of idea. But this planet has it's kind of awkwardly a little bit longer than the day part of the 20-hour cycle, the 12 hours. So for us, this planet would have like a 14-hour day, but hours are just a little bit longer in the future.
Gotcha. Well, then if it's nighttime, he'd probably be.
But it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, but it's nighttime.
Yes, as it often happens at lunchtime.
So I'm just seeing, a spread out in front of him. He's probably eating more than anybody else. Something in each tentacle, just down here, dipping into this, grabbing some meat from that. Picture like some sausage, some steak.
Yeah, so you kind of have they have these kind of pretty much picture like one of those appetizer samplers, and so you have like
One
big ring
I'm
of
picturing a
dishes
few.
with a bunch of with meat all around it on the outside, and you're just like dip, 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 eat. It's anime worthy, I suspect.
Beautiful meat platters everywhere.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so you can see the people. There's not very many people in here. It doesn't seem to this place does well at the lunch rush. It's kind of a human style diner, and so there's actually a human kind of wandering around behind the bar, and there's a few other people in here, a variety of species, kind of sitting about, and Captain, you get a message. And you see a pop-up. So the way a lot of the technology works is they use AR or holograms, and you can kind of choose and customize which you're using whenever you want to. So
Okay.
a lot of times you'll use one or the other, depending on whether you want people to join in or people to be more private. So you see a pop-up, and it's via the message that you most recently got messages from your patron on Commissioner. What's her damn name again? It's right down here. Commissioner Fu Ying. You see her symbol come up, and then you get basically a message that says transferring, client message, and then a little emote that's going, I'm keeping an eye on you, and a quick, you see a headshot of an onyx, and he has kind of, an onyx is a slug-like species. There used to be one on the ship that our viewers may or may not recall, and this one he's wearing kind of a buttoned up like shirt, and he's got very parchmenty kind of colored skin and patterned skin, and he's kind of looking at you, and he goes, okay, you're the Auspicious, right?
That's us. Yep.
Yeah, they sent this. Yep, excellent. We need to talk. Yes.
Okay.
Contract, indeed. Okay. So he looks like he's kind of like flipping through windows. This look everybody gets in their eyes when they're ARing something else rather than talking to you. It's a kind of weird, distracted look. And he's like, oh, here it is. And he kind of does this slight little tentacle flick, which people tend to do when they're like sending things to other people. And you get a proposal for contract your directly up. He's like, "Come talk to me. I'm over at the port, and in the House Susperetta facility. The library they call it. Anyways, come see me." And it clicks off. He does it. If you said anything, he kind of didn't notice.
Okay.
So you're looking at contract 2 here,
Yep.
and this basically pops up. You're an exploration vessel. This is kind of up your alley. And there you go. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's flip that open so everyone can see it. There we go. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the new contract. Contract number 2. So the expiration of PS096. Host Sospreda wants you to explore the area. Okay, so I need to probably explain how contracts work. So what you're looking at here is contract. They're divided between obligation articles, privilege articles, and trade articles. Contracts are one of the main ways you guys get residual value, which is pretty much the value of your cargo. So this is how you earn cargo and then trade it into useful things like complex materials and the such. So the top are your obligations. So you get an initial one that is basically like the title for the whole selection. And then you got a second one on there. So you actually have 2 obligations, and they're full of objectives and bounties in this case. So the way you approve it is we do a project and you gain reserve. So you roll a bunch of dice, and then you get some points, and then you're going to spend them on the various sub-articles, these terms. So you'll decide on how much money you want to make from Claim Archaeological Site for House Sospreda. You'll decide how much you'll want to make for this. You'll decide how much of a bonus you want for each bounty. That sort of thing. And then for the privilege articles, you just have to pay for the initial opening of it, which there's already a reserve set aside for that, because you have to do that. And likewise for the trade article. And the reason the trade article is there is that's how you get paid out. Do you understand?
So far, yes.
Okay.
Generally, yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's the pilot again?
Sequoia is.
Okay, Sequoia, where did you park the launch? So, in this neighborhood, you probably wouldn't be able to park too close by, which is slightly unfortunate if you get in trouble and want to get away, because you can remote drive, but you have to be within, like, basically the inside of a starship away from it.
Oh.
Okay. So, that actually was done in the first episode of this game ever. They jumped in their ship, or jumped in their launch and flew off. Or actually, they flew it at a bunch of enemies and stuff. It was great fun. But this neighborhood's got a lot of like walking paths and stuff. There's some elevated ones. Picture just kind of a dark place. It's a little bit like Portland.
Okay.
Except the air is made of sulfur and argon.
Oh.
So a little bit different than Portland.
So it's important, but just a little bit.
A little bit different than Portland.
just a tad. Just a tad.
Here's another detail of it that it might make it slightly different than Portland. It's got you're on the plateau. The place you're in is called New Athens, and the major biome is flowers.
Interesting.
So you go outside, there's orange and pink flowers everywhere. And you're on a plateau that's super lifted off of the ground. And there's virtually a rather fertile kind of plain around it, just filled with various flowering species and a lot of creatures. Like, it's overrun outside with animals. But inside the city and its walls, you're pretty good. It's an oxygen sulfur atmosphere, good old hydrogen sulfate in the water, but all's good.
Right.
Fine temperature, but thick pressure atmosphere, and the surface gravity's a bit low, so. Just so you can
I probably parked the ship on an elevate platform then.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, there's an elevated platform, like, about a couple blocks away and up a bit. They have these elevator platforms they use that allow most people kind of walk around and take these, like, elevated trains.
Right.
Because there's a big ring train that's just on the inside of the wall that keeps the many species of animals from exploring the streets and murdering people and such. Right. That sort of problems. And then there's kind of like a hub system, and just to one side of the city is the spaceport. So you guys are probably kind of in the spaceport neighborhood, unless there was some reason for you to go outside that. So you would have taken your launch down. The spaceport doesn't allow people. They don't allow people to just park anywhere in the city, at least.
How
'Cause you're
dare
a
they?
Spaceship.
How could they?
They have a
Company
ground
people,
port
man.
here, so there's no like
Rude.
space elevator or anything impressive like that. Just a large docking port with underground storage for massive for your spaceships. Yeah, so
I hope you remember the number of the parking lot. What was it? A5?
I think it was A72, something like that. Let me check.
I thought it was C12.
Go through my AR. Just be like, oh right, it's there.
There you go. Yeah, so whenever you're using your AR and stuff, depending on how active you like your OS to be, you'll have Dell. So when you showed up at this ship, you knew there was one crew member left. You haven't met him yet. It's supposed to be human. But the crew originally set up. There was 3 other members of the crew. You don't know a lot about them. You have a few records, like their names and stuff. But they set everything up for the ship, and they have an AI named Dell, who's basically looks like a small human boy of some sort. And he tends to like introduce things. He's not super obtrusive on your data flow. Like, he doesn't jump around too much, but he does respond if you talk to him particularly. And during your operation, you're always, of course, using your OS, your AI. So Dell's like basically going, yeah, the ship's here, remember? Kind of thing when you pop that open.
Dell, can you tell me who's around the ship right now? Who's around the ship? You don't know? Okay, cool.
So
we'll get over there then.
he's like, he looks at you and go, you didn't set up the network for that. And so, as you know,
Do everything, don't I?
Your ship actually has an advanced core, and one of the things you can do with your core is set it up so it has a tachyon transmitter, which allows you to communicate with your ship pretty much entire system. But if you do that, people can hack your ship without getting close to it. If you don't do that, then people have to like get on board your ship to really hack it, because ships don't have communicators. Every single person does. But there's a trick where you can take, if you have the core you guys have, the mod you have, the data core upgrade, to set it up so it can act as a tachyon emitter network system and allow you to have access to your ship that way. Which means you could do things like try to remotely fly your ship from a far distance, but other people could also do those sorts of things.
Right. And so he says that, and Sequoia's just like, trick question, Dell. Of course we don't. That would be terrible. Why would you think that? I'm just testing you.
He
Come
looks
on.
and goes, and you did it before. It was cool.
Anyway, we'll be there soon, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So your
Anyway.
AI is basically, each of you have your own AI, but he's like an instance of the master AI on board the ship.
Okay.
So he like updates himself whenever he gets back to the ship and stuff. So that can cause fun at times, but you can also customize him in any way you wish. So, you guys head back to the ship or head off to talk to this client then? Is that what you do, or do you have any other ideas?
Well, where is the client?
The client...
He's at the library.
he's
Oh,
outside.
right, the library.
Yes. So, as you know, I believe Liam, you were once a member of House Sospreta. House Sospreta is a member of the Articulum of Diomedes. It's a faction of that. They're a knowledge and exploration, and they're all around good guys who don't do anything bad at all whatsoever. Like spy on people constantly and broker information. So
Fake news.
they're a big. They're basically they're what you would call a think tank. They have universities and libraries, or what they call libraries are actually like information resource annexes, where they keep a lot of offices and researchers and scientific endeavors and stuff. So they have probably labs below that they did things. They do a lot of information stuff, but they do a lot of actual like scientific investigation into things. So the idea of this mission from them totally makes sense. As you saw on the contract, the Cassini Ancients are something that you never really heard of until really recently, when a little tiny bit of information kind of came out about that. I'll be able to tell you more about that when you do your contract negotiation, because part of contract negotiation is you get to do a bunch of different tasks to build up those points, including talking to them, research, and that sort of thing. So you could do that now if you wanted, or you could wait until you get there, but either way, you guys are probably walking towards the launch right now.
All right.
No?
Sounds good.
That's what I got from what you were saying earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought we were doing.
Okay, before I went on a tangent, yes. Anyways.
It's an important tangent. We have to know who these people are, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention it before. So where it works as a free spacers. Free spacers are kind of like these above and outside of society assets that a patron can use or basically rent to clients to do what they want with them, as long as they don't like go against what they're doing. So House Sospreta is allied with XMI, as is the other major house, House Illyria. Okay, cool. So you guys kind of wander through. You see there's these massive kind of like flower trees. Picture orange cherry blossom trees, except they have larger blossoms on it. These big, massive blossoms. And there's no grass. There's kind of like a low, thin moss. And there's like brush level flowers as well. And there's a whole variety of insects that work the flowers constantly. So you walk down the street. There's kind of these cobblestones, grass and flowers, from everywhere. There's holographic signs on the various different places. You're leaving the place you just ate, and there's the signs for it. And then there's a variety of like bars and entertainment bureaus peddling to like every sort of thing you'd want. There's like different like kind of like movie house kind of things where you can go in and have little experiences and do different things. It's kind of like a touristy kind of area that you're in. So it's pretty much like all sorts of little things to do, places to buy snacks, that sort of stuff.
How about we do some team bonding, guys, and go see a movie? That sounds like fun.
Go to a VR arcade. That's what we got to do.
There, yes, you could. You could definitely.
I heard snacks.
Really? Really? Come on, man. Come on.
So we see you guys hanging out front as he buys roasted meat off a vendor.
To be fair, Sequoia's probably still eating because she's just super hyperactive. She's just like continuously eating anyway, so
okay.
She has nothing. She has nothing to stand on now.
We have the anime group at lunch for the crew.
Just a pixie stick, or
Liam just like kind of sighs, and he just looks at Craig with slightly barely concealed disgust, and just throws his bag away.
Yeah, so you're having roast meat. You're having these like pixie sticks
you're not
filled
gonna
with
eat that?
gold and platinum.
Yeah.
Help yourself, dude.
It's not something I can eat, but hey.
You're kind of a carnivore. Bread is a bit weird for you too.
We're both just like.
So you walk back, and there's you find it looks like kind of like giant mushrooms. There's these kind of mushroom-topped little buildings with landing pads on them, and then like these tubes where they kind of park different vehicles. So you walk up, and what you have to do is you have to like select your vehicle. So you instantly patch into whoever's doing it, the pilot or the captain, perhaps. You patch in, and it knows who you are, and it asks you. There's like this little AI that it looks like a snapdragon crossed with a flower or something, really weird looking thing, and it had wearing basically a hit me first vest, and it's like, hey, okay, you want your vehicle? And
No.
it looks at you like, hey, you want your vehicle?
Yeah,
waving
we
his
would
hands
like.
around.
Yeah, we would like our vehicle right now. That would be great. Where is it?
Okay, it's coming.
Awesome.
So you kind of see the vehicles kind of moving around. It's kind of a mechanical device. It's basically like a big vending machine for your car. And
Oh, one of those garages. Okay.
so you see this kind of moving around, and then it pops up and moves up towards the top. At the same time, it's like, hold your arms inside if you're ready to go, and then basically waits for each of you to go, yeah, I'm ready. And then once each of you presses the button, the little elevator that you're standing on just kind of raises up to the top. They want to keep the vehicles off of street level, so they raise them out of the ground up to this top of this mushroom thing. And so you see your launch there, and the launch looks like it's got 2 seats in the front, and then behind that it drags a trailer. And because there's 3 of you, you'd probably be having your transport trailer. Yeah, which has like 6 seats in it and a little bit of armor and room for 16 tons of cargo. So the front part has 2 seats, one for usually a shield operator and one for the pilot.
Right.
So
There we go.
I guess you two get in the front, and Captain jumps
Yeah, we
back
do.
in his 6 seats worth of transport trailer. And
He has so much space.
yeah,
So much space to relax and do captain things.
Yeah,
He's just napping.
Stand there and watch
He's not,
people
he's
work.
not doing anything sophisticated. He's just asleep.
I did actually realize that your captain did really just put you off all onto you have to do the work. Because he's the only one who didn't take a standard ship station.
Look, that means he won't know what we're doing, so we can do whatever we want.
Well, he
Obviously.
can do them. He's just
Yeah.
going to always have to do something at probably a disadvantage and difficulty. Anywho, he's just not as many points. So,
Don't worry, I've got all the arms for this.
I just have all of the AR displays up right now, just being like, I can drive and do all of these other things you guys don't know about.
yeah, so you pretty much jump in.
Liam is
and
snoring.
AR comes on. So the launch hooks directly into your personal area networks as a node. So as a pilot hooks into yours, the shield operator hooks into yours, and so you can use your own reactors to use your own charge to boost it or whatever if you have to drive real fast or do some
Okay.
shield things or something, which you're probably not going to have to do today. So you guys lift off and head for the library, I guess.
I mean, we got to do this. We got to get this contract signed and such. So yeah, we're heading to the library.
Okay, so
It sounds like we already had our leisure time.
you did. It was very leisurely.
Waiting for the like 3 or 4 days that we're waiting or whatever.
Yeah,
Being
so,
like, hey, how's it going? And not really getting anywhere.
so yeah, pretty much you guys just got the job and you started by waiting for 4 days until something came up. And not meeting Audie at all. Despite the fact he's supposed to be a member of the crew. He's still registered
Al.
on there, enlisted. You have no idea where he is. You've not been informed.
Hey, Del, are you about?
Sorry?
Said, hey, Del, are you about?
Yeah, I'm always here. I kind of am here. I'm...
You are here.
Yes.
Do you have any idea where Audie is?
Here.
Well, I'm sure one of me does, but not this one. He has not contacted you, has he?
No, I haven't heard anything.
You have no messages from Audie.
I don't think so.
But, no, he's
That's
telling
why I
you.
checked anyway.
He is your message system. He's
Oh,
telling
okay.
you. You
Thank
have
you.
no messages from Audie.
Can
Do you
I
wish
find
me to-
like all of Audie's social media stuff and see if he's been up to anything?
You
Because I
can.
don't-
He's
'cause I
taking a
don't-
holiday.
That is a research roll.
Oh,
Where is
research
his-
roll.
Where is
Okay.
his space Facebook?
Yeah, space. Where's his space book? Come on, man.
Facebook account.
All right,
Yeah.
it's a research roll. So what exactly am I? What exactly
Okay,
am
so
I?
let's go over a roll since you're doing that. So you're driving along, you're flying. You get message from the system, the city's like traffic navigation system. There's not a lot of traffic. It seems like the city's pretty well organized, so people don't have to like drive all over the place for no reason. They just live near where they're doing things and that sort of stuff. Anyway, so you want to make a roll. So you can totally do
do.
research during this.
Awesome.
Because you're not doing anything
Yeah,
difficult.
I'd hope he doesn't have to park the ship just to make this.
It's all right. I got this.
I can just put it on autopilot. It's fine. Also, we have Dell. Dell can drive the ship, right?
Dell's always driving the ship. He just requires you to do things that are hard. Because driving
Yeah,
the ship is really, really hard.
Yeah,
And
but
so
this is.
he
but-
just aids you in that. You have to
Exactly.
make those choices and decisions and dice.
Plus,
rolls.
I can probably make like an AI subroutine or something, which could just drive the thing we're flying in right now.
Well, I mean,
like,
that's what
realistically.
he is.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, Dell.
research.
Make a
do
second
this.
Dell.
You have 2 dice in interface. Are you looking
I
at your
do.
sheet?
I am looking at my sheet.
And your specialty, so you're trained in interface, but you have no specialty in research.
Nope, I don't.
So if you press this button next to there, it would do the dice roll.
Okay.
So
So
it's
so I
going
can
to
just
ask
do
you
that.
about advantage and stuff. So if you use 1 point from your charge, you can gain 2 additional dice from your comm browser. So if you look down at your link, one of the mods is called comm browser. And that is your pretty much interface for Googling and comms and all your Uhura stuff. So
Right.
if you want to spend a charge, and the way you gain new
Ooh,
charge
I have a
is...
point in research.
There you go. You might be better at it, but you said you wanted to do it. So
Look, I am the person
I have no
who
idea
would
what's
do
going
it.
you're the one snooping. Anyway, so you
Exactly.
have 2 points in comm browser that you can use to add to this. If you spend 1 charge, you get 2 extra dice.
I think I'll do that. Why not? Find out what the hell Audie's doing.
Okay.
So I press.
Push.
So I press the.
Reduce charge first by 1.
All right. Okay. So cancel the input value thing. All right. So my capacity is now 3.
No,
Cool.
not your capacity. Your charge.
Oh,
No
my
charge.
charge. My charge is now 2. There we go.
And your capacity should stay at 4. Capacity is that's
Yes.
how high charge can get before it overcharges.
Right.
Do
Alright,
not
so
touch
yeah.
that unless you're upgrading your character. I have no ability to lock that yet. I'm going to get in on that soon.
My capacity is 3. Should it be 4?
No, I don't think you spent anything on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent 1 to make it 4. So that's
Okay,
why. Alright,
cool.
so interface, comm specialty. All right. So I submit comm specialty.
Nope.
Advantage.
Research
Nope.
specialty.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's why. Okay, research. Advantage 2 dice.
2 dice.
All right. Threat dice.
Okay, so this is a kind of different way. So instead of having a difficulty like some games do, instead it's a certain number of dice that you have to roll against yourself. So I will
Okay.
go through the dice on how they roll in a second, but the difficulty of this is I'm gonna give you 1 extra die. I might give you another die. Unfortunately, you put the number in already.
I can go back.
No, sure. Get an extra die for the fact that
Okay.
he's your crew member.
Sweet. All right. So I have 3. So I have 3 dice advantage.
Sweet. I can
Yes.
I can snoop on an extra now.
And the difficulty is 6.
6. Okay then. 6 threat dice. Oh boy.
Yes.
And submit. 2 successes.
Wow. Okay, so let's look at this so you guys have some idea how this fucking game works. So, you see all these crazy dice. So if you roll 5 or above on those 10-sided dice, which are depicted as diamonds, you get 1 hit. Those hits are minused from any time you roll 1, 2, or 3 on the 6-sided dice. If you get a 4 or greater, you're critting, and that gives you 1 charge. If you get a 6, it's a double crit, and you get 2 charge. I get double crits in this game. Come on, that's awesome, right? Fist bump. No?
Oh, it's got double crit.
Boom.
Double crits, come on. Okay, so the way you determine what happens, what those dice mean, is the number of hits remaining, or the number of misses remaining.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have. There are different levels of outcomes. So let me go through that just a tad here. Where is running the game? So I can make sure I quote the right info, that I'm not forgetting on my own game runs, because that happens.
Hey, I succeeded our first roll
You did.
of our tenure. Yay!
Yay! Okay, so
that you could be on your phone while you're driving.
Exactly. Look, man, this is my prerogative. I'm a pilot and a programmer. This is what I do.
Is someone driving without paying attention up there?
So
Don't worry about it.
successful outcomes are divided into successes, which is a positive number, complete successes, which are 3 or greater, 3, criticals, which are greater than 3, and double criticals that are greater than 6. Failures are 0 or negative numbers. And so fail 0. Complications, if you get a negative number, so you get -1, you still get a fail, which is 0. I just get an extra die to put in my evil cup of doom, and it makes this noise, which you hate. And then I can use those against you later.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
If you get a -3, or I put a bunch of dice out of this cup and put it down, it is worse, and something usually quite bad happens. And those are the 5 different types of outcomes. So you have failures, consequences, success, completes, and crits. The
Dice
crits
comes
are
out
really
of the cup
just...
and then you... Sorry.
Sorry. I was just going to say crits are just completes that give you extra charge.
Awesome.
I was just going to say the dice has come out of the cup and then all of a sudden there's a malfunction with the airlock and you're outside space.
I can't make you fail with one of those. I can just make your failures worse. I can just turn them from a 0 into a -3, or from a, say you had a -2 right now instead of a 2, I could put 1 die in to make it a -3. If you get -4, I just take 1 die and the -3 complication thing happens. I can also put them on the bad guy to make the difficulty higher. Because they don't have resources like you, instead they share this resource.
Yes.
Anyways, that's how dice rolls happen. Cool, so you are looking up to see where Audie is. So you do a bunch of research. A few weeks ago, he came back to the ship with a bunch of stuff and talked to the captain of the time from a mine. And it was a bunch of alien artifacts for the Cassini Ancients that he was trying to research and deal with. And it looked kind of like he failed because he destroyed them. And then, you have him, he's making some sort of weird post about something. Basically about he's eating something really human-y. And then his completely disappears on station here. Pretty much he brought the ship here by himself, and then he disappeared shortly afterwards. There is also a hey, where are you guys message that you do have access to, where he goes, hey, where are you guys? Fu Ying wants to see us. And then fine, I'll just go. Where the hell are you guys? kind of message stream. It's a much longer, and I'm sure Paul can explain it to you more later.
All right. Good. So I go through those things, and I see the message stream, and I'm like, oh! And I just pass it over to both the captain and to Craig. Just be like, well, apparently he was here. Apparently. I don't really know.
He brought the ship here. You guys have never flown this vessel before.
Nope.
You probably set up your rooms and have been hanging around, wondering.
Oh, and I
where
throw a TLDR of the summary or of the contract that he just did. I throw a TLDR of them, just be like, hey, here's what he was doing.
Oh, with that, yeah. So that was his retirement activities, which is another type of project, and he was trying to make some money off of this this mine that they had come across. He was trying to make some sort of deal there, and it didn't go well.
Still passing it. Still something I do.
So you do have a copy of their former contract, which you can see on the sheet, the contract 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that they were dealing with, basically dealing with a. You guys kind of heard about this because you arrived afterwards. This isn't your native sector, I don't think, any of you. But the Marquis de Roux here, for some reason, went full terrorism, at least according to XMI. But they did blow up a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of raids on XMI facilities looking for alien stuff. And you know all of that mostly from the details of the contract that you still have. Anyways, so you swoop around and you see a large this right on the not the center of the plate. The center of the city is the like the town hall, the mayor's office, their facilities. It's a large kind of round building. To the above and left is the port, and just a little bit below that and to the side is a kind of pyramidal structure known as the library, or the House of Sparetta Information Annex for Thiel. And it also is next door and kind of part of the University of Thiel, which is a major university in the area. The sector is quite young, so House of Sparetta opening university here is kind of a big deal. There's only a couple of systems with universities in it, so most of them are in the hub.
Home.
So you kind of pass over top of this kind of university. You see people out and about doing university things, going to classes and such. You see the pyramidal structure ahead of you. It's kind of Blade Runner-y, the kind of coppery sky, all that. And there is several landing facilities. You get directed to one of them, an auxiliary landing area, and notified that you will your route will be approved and marked, whatever that may mean.
What does that mean? Does that actually mean anything?
It seems like a bit of doublespeak. Your House of Sparetta captain might be able to tell you, but
So, everyone got their library card?
I still have mine. From the time I was here.
Oh, that was a little bit tongue in cheek, but all right, good to know. Just like go into land.
Yeah, so you land on the facility or land on the landing strip. There's a couple other vehicles there. They all seem to be House of Sparetta kind of runabouts for the local area. And Dell's like, "Hey, I'm getting a handshake."
Who from?
Handshake.
The librarian. She wants to direct us on our route.
All right, Captain.
Hi.
We're
Sorry, I was
apparently
just thinking about the books I needed to return.
Oh, well, good. We're apparently getting a handshake from Guidus. I mean,
You all got
Captain,
that
our
message.
captain.
So all your pans were pinged simultaneously with that.
Yeah,
all right, let's
I'm
go.
alright with it.
So you've
Set
landed.
it off.
So quick question. One of the things that you have as free spacers are EVA suits. It's a little have space shoot will travel. You all wear ship suits out and about. But you can also wear your full EVA suit, which is a pretty much a metallic outer layer with a gelatin interior layer of life support gel. normally you don't wear that out and about unless you're expecting combat, radiation exposure, that sort of thing. Did anybody like leave theirs in the launch and is planning on wearing it on this?
I'm not wearing my EVA suit. No goddamn way.
Okay, so you're wearing what's called the ship suit. I didn't really let you do this, but you could have spent one supply to, add armor or something to your ship suit. If you wish to do that, you can decrease the supply on board the Auspicious and have that. Otherwise, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. What do you think, everyone else?
I'm good.
Captain?
I think I'd wear the combat armor, but I think Liam would just already be ready for a fight.
So make sure you reduce supply on board the Auspicious by 1. Because every armor you put on your ship suit costs 1 supply. So that's in the cargo, down kind of halfway down the middle of the sheet.
Oh, yeah. So it's 35, so take it down to 34.
Yeah. And that will last until you get shot and use that combat armor. You can also recycle it into a different type of armor if you wish.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So here's the way negotiation works. Only one of you, and it's usually the captain, because the role's actually called captain, actually has to talk to the client. The rest of you can do other sorts of things, like research or wandering about, figuring things out, all that sort of things, to give them more reserve so that you can be more successful at your contract. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Certainly does.
Oakley dokley. So some of those things that we can even do as flashbacks. So you can tell me, oh yeah, on our way here I did this sort of thing, or we stopped here, we just didn't show it at the time, and then we can show it then and do a scene if we need to.
I'm holding like a little stack of books in my arms, ready to return them.
Most information's virtual. Just saying.
No.
He's just carrying a bunch of tablets. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all part of your pan. You can have paper books if you want. That's a thing. You can have, because if you're talking tablets, they'd be like a chip this big, which is like basically a little hyperdiamond anchor that contains a bunch of information. Information allocation on your pan is basically infinite. You carry the entire internet with you at all times. It's called the data flow. You have a clone of it. That's how all messages are sent. So if you go to another system, because there's no multi-system Ansible, you can't like communicate with another system. Instead, a message goes into everybody's internet, and then when you go there, it syncs, and then those people all get their messages.
It's the Bitcoin of future.
Yes. So as you fold space around, you bring the internet with you, and everybody's messages and all the information updates and that sort of thing. If you have secure information you don't want to put on the public internet, you have to bring that by ship manually in private and then transfer it and that sort of thing, just like you would expect.
I guess the captain has a bunch of hologram books then.
Yeah. He's just
you could have paper books. It is a thing that does exist. They're very fancy.
I have a couple of like paper textbooks. I feel like that's something the Howard's Sister would have. It's just special.
Awesome. I'm picturing, what are they called? Those crazy old textbooks with a weird name. Has like a sun on the... Anyways.
I don't know.
They were super
Codexes?
cheap. No, you often see them in like, they're like kids kind of textbook things that you would see at like dentists and stuff. With this weird half a sun emblem on it. Anyways.
Liam has made sure that though he's wearing his combat armor, beneath that he's wearing his old school colours. So,
okay.
So identified as one of them.
The former crew had kind of a haphazard ship suit system that kind of did whatever they wanted. But a ship suit is like a picture like any of the cooler Star Trek uniforms, right? It's like it's a jumpsuit or a multi-part suit that probably matches or might not match and has stuff for your ship on it and usually is kind of padded or whatever with, say, your combat armor or your pressure armor plates or whatever in it.
Okay.
So it looks like you're just wearing kind of clothes. They're casual.
basically just over that, then you just got a large like T-shirt. It says like House Description number 1.
So House Sosperetta tends to wear they don't wear super business suits. They kind of wear like what you would picture as like professor kind of outfits or research kind of outfits, unless you're actually a spy, and then you could wear pretty much anything, including those aforementioned things when you're pretending you're not a spy when you're here. So yes, they tend to wear scientific and scholarly outfits, whatever those happen to look like.
Whereas my guy would be basically going in there with a couple of grease stains.
I actually like wrote down what Sequoia is wearing because she has like generally a look to her. Like she wears yellow tank top, slate gray hoodie, dark blue pants, combat boots that are only like half tied up. Yeah, and like the hoodie is like that, like the N7 sweater, kind of like that. Yeah.
Cool. So her like ship suit is what she's kind of wearing like this, and she kind of has to pull it up if she wants armor, kind of thing, and wear the hoodie over top of it.
Exactly. It's just like I gotta zip it up and everything, button up.
That sounds incredibly cute considering how short you are.
Exactly.
She's tiny in size. Like she's like, yeah.
She's 0.6 meters. It's great.
She's like half a meter tall.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fun. Okay, so are you guys just dropping the captain off here, or are some of you going with, or are some of you leaving? Or do you want to decide that?
Are we allowed in the library?
Sure. You've been invited. The whole crew was kind of invited.
Oh,
Only
I
the
might get
captain actually has to go and do the talking.
The thing is, if I go in there, I might get kicked out afterwards. But I have the opportunity, so I'll go in there. I'll do research or something while I'm in there.
What are you doing there?
It's called hacking the system. I'm gonna try finding more information about what House Sosperetta knows about PS096 and that kind of thing, and like what operations surrounding it.
Okay, well let's just jump right into the negotiation then.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of that stuff, all that research and everything, that's all actually part of the negotiation scene. So the way Free Spacer works, on the mechanical side, is you have encounters where you do things a little bit more like we're kind of doing it, where you do stuff based in rounds and that sort of thing. You also have projects, which are an advanced scene, which everybody kind of does a certain number of actions over a period of time to build up, in this case, a reserve. There's also other ones like travel that you do, milestones. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so you are doing a negotiation project. The negotiation project works on this contract, and this is an offer. So the first thing you know when you get an offer, we'll just run over the stuff, is you get this 300 RV bonus for signing. You don't have to pay for. You don't have to put reserve or anything in that. So you're going to do a series of tasks in different stations. So the station system's kind of used like this because I used to have a system where I listed all of the different tasks, but it's just this massive list, and things were always kind of left out. So instead, I kind of grouped them together into stations, so you can think, oh, these are the types of things that you would do in that station. So for an offer, you get 4 stations. So normally, each of you would take one. In this case, each of you are taking one, and then one extra to one of you. So the different stations include captain. So the captain represents the crew in the negotiation. He's doing the talking, face-to-face conversation, virtual face conversation, or whatever. They ingratiate themselves to the client with charm, etiquette, political awareness, or just bargaining. Then there is the researcher station. Knowledge is power. You find out information in whatever way you can. So there's classic research where you're looking on the data flow, like we just did the test of, and then there's just actual knowledge too. You can be really good at, say, mineral stuff and know stuff about minerals and use both the data flow and your geosciences knowledge to research the minerals in a certain location if minerals matter. that is also considered a researcher position. So it's like common or technical knowledge. Surveillance. You can actually follow or escort doing physical espionage. So you could wander around and try to find information. There's networker, where you can reach out to your friends and contacts and followers to find out information and gain leverage by just knowing people and getting that to work for you. Programmer, you can hack this fucking planet. That's what that is. You're hacking their surveillance, personal information. Going inside this place definitely would give you more of a chance to actually do that sort of thing.
Yep.
So if you wanted to find out more information than what actually exists out there and find out internal information, you'd have to do that. So say you have to do a bunch of sneaking around to do that. Those sneaking around tasks would only just allow you to make this other role, which would count towards the project. Those ones would also count towards the project. Finally, Marine. The Marine station is for those people who like to punch people and find out things the direct way. You can threaten competitors, intimidate associates, interrogate prisoners, silence witnesses, whatever is required, and will increase your ability to negotiate this contract.
Dang, I
So
should
yes,
Marine.
you could go. You don't have to be a Marine. These aren't stations as in ship stations, as in the stations you have. These are stations anybody can take. Because your expertise stations are stations you're particularly good at. These are the ones that you're adding to. And if you really want to change your expertise, you could make a deal with the captain, and you guys could swap. He could take sensor analyst or something, and you could take Marine or recon. It's up to you. I will let you change that. Normally, it would be a charge to change your expertise. Anyways, so those are the kind of stations we're talking about. And I would suggest, despite the captain is a required station, because you have to actually make the deal in the end. It's usually done by the actual ship's captain, but doesn't have to be if you have someone who's more social. And although some clients might find that irritating. And one good thing to start with is some sort of research if you just don't know a lot. So picture this as all the groundwork for that negotiation. We tend to do the captain's actual station last, although sometimes I've done it in like along the way. So you guys find out information, you feed it to him, and he talks at the same time. But that cutting back and forth doesn't always work as smoothly as it seems like it'd be super cool. It doesn't always work as smoothly as you'd think. So
I feel like Liam as a character would alternate between, oh yeah, I'm going to really charm you and be like really nice. But like, if you don't see it my way, I'm going to strap it and I'm going to load my gun and we're going to have some issues right now.
Okay.
Very like,
It's like I'm going to stab you with my multi-tool until there's nothing left. That's negotiation, right? They're like, no, stop it, you're fired. No contract.
This is aggressive negotiations.
Excellent. So you've got 4 things that you're doing, pretty much.
You said what?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yo. Things are getting scary.
Everyone gets weapons, just like, well, we're Mexican standoff now. What do we do?
Oh, yo. Okay. So, what station do we want to start with? So you get off the ship and you start walking in. Who's getting off the ship? Who's staying here? Who's going somewhere else? And what do you guys want to do to get the groundwork for this negotiation underway?
Well, my initial idea for starting this legwork phase is I was going to actually go in the library and then start hacking their shit because we need more info, and the House of Sparta definitely is not going to give it to them if I know anything about them, which I feel like I do, being 8th Avatar and all.
Okay, so you want to do that sort of thing. Do you want someone to do, or you to do a more of a research thing to start with?
Mm-hmm.
So
that you know where to start?
I got this.
I'm offended.
We're both doing research. That's obviously what we're doing. This is honest to God research. No foul play. I'm gonna be hacking them so hard.
I will sell you out so
Craig, are you wanting to do actual research to start him
Yes.
off? Because you get to do 4, so you can do a second one as well if the research isn't what you want to do. Or,
Yeah, I would do
or
some
the
research
captain
to
could
start
do
him off.
research if he wanted. That's up to
Oh, you can do actual research as opposed to be just being like, I'm doing research.
Okay, so let's look at the sheet. So, what don't you understand on this sheet, and how can we talk about it so that I will give you common info, and then we can make the roll.
You're talking to me, right?
Yeah, you're doing the research one first, right? So
Yes.
you all I'm picturing you all. We see a scene. You guys get out of the launch. You climb out the little side doors and out the back, and you kind of walk all in, and you see this like long white hallways that kind of go in, and then these large rooms full of pretty much people sitting around doing various types of research management and political thing. And you see that these streamer rooms that are kind of closed off, but you see a little window and they're all talking to people and doing stuff. And it's pretty much looks like there's parts that look like film studios, and there's parts that look like libraries, like traditional, and parts that look like offices as you kind of wander through. And the librarian, which it actually looks like an onyx and wearing glasses and a little library outfit, is basically chatting with Dell and giving you directions. Basically, you see these little like lines appear in your AR, kind of telling you where to go. So, as the captain, you have to go that direction, and the other two can peel off. So, let's start with Craig. What do you do?
So we need to do some research.
Yes. Quick thing. You can contact each other within the system, and definitely within quick area, instantly using brain control interface texting, so you can all talk in each other's ear constantly, and no one can hear you.
So my question is, what exactly do I need to be researching here?
That's why we were going to look at the contract. So, the things on this contract are PS096, which is, as you know, a system in this current sector. Archaeological sites that could be there. Optimal worlds. Everybody wants colonies. Bounties for habitable worlds. That's why that's there. Cassini Ancients. That's a thing. You know that your crew basically found out that XMI was doing stuff with the researching the Cassini Ancients, who we can talk about in a sec. And you know that the Marquita Rue, 8th Avatar, and the Seekers of the Return are also on the contract as perhaps people interfering with you. So you can research any of those general areas of knowledge.
All right, let's go with the PS096.
I will even let you research, if in general, all of those things and find out bits and pieces of information, because just do a big survey of all these things.
Big survey, and then go from there and narrow it down. Sounds good to me.
Okay. So you're basically, as I can see, it's like when you do an investigation, the research one is almost always the first one. It's finding out the base information that you kind of have. So that's kind of the task you're doing here. So that is, let's pull up Craig's sheet. That is an interface research task. And you can use your Calm browser, which you don't have, so you can't. You could use 2 points to get one more die, or you can come up with something situational that give you more information. There's one situational thing that will give you more info, and that is the fact that your crew directly had responsibility for this. So you have some of your crew, you have your former crews like notes and videos and all that sort of stuff at your beck and call to go through.
Gotcha.
So, like we know from using our modern search engines, the information might be out there, but it's up to you whether you can find it in a useful manner that really matters. Or if you just get stuck looking at porn. Okay. So, you want to click the button next to interface, choose research, and then add an advantage of 1. And I will tell you the difficulty. So, the way difficulties works for most projects, there's a couple different ones, but for these ones, the challenge, all challenges have the same rating. They're all 3 for a standard negotiation. Covert
Mhm.
negotiations are hard, which is a 4 difficulty. Illegal ones should be different. Anyways, that's wrong. It should be 5. And ones where they coerce you because they just don't give a shit what you think, so they're not listening to you, are 6. So if you have some terrible bastard who forces you to take an addendum to this contract, it's actually quite difficult to negotiate. So, you get to... The threat dice are 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then press roll. 2 successes.
2 success.
Okay, so 2 things happen with this. 1, I tell you awesome and fascinating information that's going to keep you up at night. And 2...
I think Craig will be fine.
That was happened to me.
Just as
I don't
long as
think-
he doesn't miss, third dinner.
Is Craig just also a hobbit?
He can definitely eat like one.
Okay, good. 11sies, second breakfast, all that good stuff. Yes.
Except that, unlike hobbits, he eats almost entirely meat.
Are you saying hobbits aren't entirely meat diet? Come on.
No, they eat mostly sweet buns, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
of course, fish and
True.
chips.
Mm.
Okay, so you got 2 reserves. They are English peasants. Come on. Everyone knows he based them on English peasants.
This is for my people.
By his people, he means hobbits.
Mm.
How tall are you guys? I'm 6'2".
6'3".
Me in real life?
Yeah.
Me in real life? I'm 5'10". So
I'm
Not in
6'1",
that.
so...
I am short. Like in game.
Everything's extreme. I'm just seeing it. Like in game. Anyways, so you get 2 points to add to the reserve and the base of the reserve. That's why it says 2 out of 2, because that's the current amount that you've earned. So you have an option here. If you want to learn all the info, you can give me a die to stick in my complication, and then you get to move this up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're bartering with him.
So basically, I give you 1, I get 1.
Yes. This is only
And
thing
then
you can do for
you learn
certain projects,
everything.
like negotiation. Do you want to do that? You currently have, because of your lost awesome crew, 8.
What?
Oh, wow.
Wow, they left us with quite a number of
Quite a
what are
tad.
essentially
Yes.
dark side
Dang.
guys.
Yeah, no, I really think that we should probably add more to that. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
No.
No? Oh.
No. I think I'm good with the 2.
Okay, so you find
Our hacker will take care of the rest.
Oh yeah, 100%. I have to do everything per usual.
See there.
I think we're starting to see the relationships form. Look at this. It's role-playing in action. Okay, cool. So, what do you know? So, let me double-check a history.
I know the things that I know, and I don't know the things I don't know.
Mm,
There you
yes.
go, done. Okay.
You don't want to know the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Whoa, that blew it up. Okay. Is it Alt to make people look at where you're pointing?
I
Did
don't
that
know.
work? Were you guys dragged over to look at the sector events log?
The sector
Yeah,
what
I'm
now?
in the sector.
Okay.
It's like the map.
If you scroll down, you'll see the sector events log. You know all
Oh,
this
oh, right.
information.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow. Okay.
there was a series of terrorist attacks by the Marquis de Roux on New Titan and Sulculus. Sulcus. I was at an extra syllable there. There was political upset as the Marquis de Roux seized Riosona, and the Seekers of the Return, which is a space organization, was elected in Sulcus. after this. XMI raided the terrorist bases, and you know that it was your crew who identified the main Marquita Rue base on Finfar.
Good job, boys.
They found it after talking to a variety of people and basically flying all over and researching all these locations. The churches, the Seeker militia from Alina secured the Moresque compounds after they were attacked. That's closer into the hub. The professors from the House of Sosparetta universities in the hub claimed that the Giovanni and Hugency universities were actually taken over by a criminal organization. The XMI cracked down in New Titan, and House Luria came in and became the new provisional government. There was a government change. There's several government changes in the last couple weeks. It's been quite the week. There was an alliance between the Sulcus, Alina, and the Enchilada systems, however you pronounce that. And these are all groups that are led by the Seekers of the Return. The Marquita Rue basically had to fall back because XMI just decimated them everywhere, partially due to your crew's attacks. They basically all went to Riasona, where they had already seized power. And there are reports that House Sosparita is in dire financial straits. So that's some basic general information you know about everything, the general things. That's not part of your 2. That's just information you would know. I'm going to take you back to the other page. So, the other things you know is that this House Luria is keeping exploration in Cassini down to a minimal. They want a very careful exploration for some reason. XMI is very supportive of that. House Sosparetta is kind of along for the ride. House Sosparetta got the rights to explore PS 096 after there was a publicized meeting between one of the House Sosparetta bigwigs and the House Luria government. They run the hub government. They came in, there was a big thing, and they had a meeting to talk about expansion of education and knowledge sharing and that sort of thing. You suspect, it's pretty obvious from that, that's probably when they made the deal to be allowed to explore PS096. They did announce that they were recruiting within their own walls, like within their own faction. There's like a general recruiting uptick for colonists that it started. So people within the faction, every sort of thing, pretty much at their various jobs and everything, found that there were job postings for colonists and recruiting things to join a new unnamed and unlocated colony recently. That seems like they're probably recruiting for a hopeful jump to PS96. Marquita Rue, are interested in the ancient aliens because your crew caught them looking for this information. You know that the Cassini ancients are not public information. There was a few leaks during the bombings and stuff a couple weeks ago that there was an ancient species here that there have been some whispers about it because there have been certain artifacts and stuff found. But according to your crew, and their picture of it, they had some 0-point technology, which nobody knew about. They thought they had moved around via sleeper ships and that sort of thing, so they could have been more advanced. Also, because of your crew, what happened on their ship, that pretty much an incredibly horrific thing happened on the aquatic on an aquatic research station where pretty much a 0 point / biotech communication device was built out of people and ancient technology. It's almost like it was a Halloween episode or something. Anyways, the crew had to deal with this pretty horrific situation, and a burst went out, which basically imprinted a message into the data flow, but in like the base code, so you can't remove it. It's just out in the base, like static.
And what is that message?
They never found out. They think it's some sort of message to maybe living or sleeping ancient aliens or those who would support them in some manner. And once, of course, someone goes to one of those systems, the information will be delivered with them.
Great.
Okay.
So that means, say there are ancient aliens there. Say there are super monsters who want to murder you. Upon arriving in PS096, that information will be transmitted to everyone you contact.
Ah, yes. Space Cthulhu. Great.
It wasn't Cthulhu-y. It was just anyway. So there was a bunch of organic materials and various things like found, 0 point information. It obviously, the radio building, whatever this communications device that was built out of partially people, only happened because the technology was a bit screwed up. So that was problematic. The Marquita Rue were really looking into this. That's why there's probably a kill bounty for them on this contract. They also, Host Hosperetta really doesn't want interference from 8th Avatar or the Seekers of Return. Seekers of Return aren't particularly popular. They're the faction in this area that was once a member of Old Gold and are still running around looking for their returned leader, their Arthur figure. You don't find a ton of information about them, but that's probably why they're on this. So that's basically a big data dump of information you have. Whether it's useful or not, I don't know. You roll a 2. There you go. So you basically spent a bunch of time sorting through databases of information, your own crew logs. Damn, where the hell's Paul? He probably just told you this shit. Yeah, and you're basically going through, filtering through things. Yeah, where's Adi? I don't know, that you're fucking humans. Yeah.
Useless.
Those humans and their disappearing skills.
Oh.
So,
Just
any questions you
time.
want to ask that has directly to do with this sort of research that you have done? From anyone can ask to have
Okay.
to look it up.
I'm sure you got this. Let's
Sure. Do we know, do we have any, data on the system, like how many planets there are,
No.
or how many celestial
Nobody's
bodies there
been
are and
there.
stuff? No one's been there. There have been no sensors or anything here.
This is what happens when you're a scout ship. That's your job.
Son of a bitch. Anything else I can ask?
They're gonna eat our faces.
Yep, we're all gonna die. Great. I didn't expect
Be on
Prometheus.
Use against us.
Look, as long as we don't do Prometheus running, we'll be fine. Just run sideways if a ship is coming in behind you. It'll be fine.
There's only one way to run from a rolling donut. Forward. Everyone knows that.
Never run to the sides and avoid it. Only run forwards.
I wanted someone to run to the side and the whole thing to just fall like this onto them, and then the other side kicks out and gets the guys on the other side. Should have just ran forward. We would have moved faster. Anyways.
So, your claim jumpers and faction operatives. Does House of Sparta have any idea on who might be getting recruited for that?
That is not in the general research kind of area.
That's what I'm gonna find out. But that'll come later.
That's
Any
the
other
Death
questions?
Station.
Any questions, Captain?
I have none.
Wow.
I feel like I've been hit with an overload of information and I'm processing still.
It's like it's
Yeah.
4 in the morning and you got dumped a book on your head.
What?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, here's an important question for House Desperata. What is considered the most optimal world for them?
Optimal worlds are pretty much a term. It's like there's optimal temperature and standard pressure and that sort of thing. It's a standard thing. You know what that is. Earth is an optimal world. It's got optimal temperatures, although it's a little extreme because of the tilt. But
cool.
So that's not a mysterious thing. That's just like, hey, they want the best world for colonizing, which is pretty common.
Well, I mean, they're mainly made up
of evil lovers.
They have a lot of Aunuk, but they have a lot of humans as well.
Okay. Then.
They have a lot of a variety of species. Let me double check our setting information.
Hey. Knowledge doesn't see race. And that's what we spread.
Well, the Articula Diomedes is a hegemony, so Aunuk is the dominant species, but they do have other species.
This is what you've done! This is what you've done! Considering I am from the Independent Peoples of Seoul, I am the person who can say that, not you.
Yes, the Independent Peoples of Seoul are a cosmopolitan group. They have no minor species. Everybody's dominant, but they also don't really have a proper government that works, so corporations like XMI take advantage of that. I'm sure that's better, though. That's way better, right? That's better for some reason?
Better than racism.
That we get controlled? Yeah.
No, it just means you're dominant, not necessarily racist. It just means
I never asked for this.
After the war,
too bad.
It was still mostly Aunuk controlled. Whether they're racist or not is kind of up to you and play.
We will find out. Yeah. All right, I don't have any like general questions then, because most of the stuff seems straightforward by virtue of the fact that no one has ever been to this system.
No. That is the whole thing. That's why I went into the part where they're not letting everybody just kind of go around and explore everything. Also, there's not a lot of people to do that. Most travel is by gate, because a lot of ships don't have full drives. Your ship does. Like all free spacer vessels and a variety of other vessels also.
Because we're better.
Because that's part of your job.
Guys, we get to name the system. That's the important thing.
Oh, maybe. I think House Desperata.
Yeah, I was going to say House Desperata. They do it.
Nope. We're going to do it. It's going to be us.
Well, think of something not dumb, because I'm not using a dumb name the whole time.
Anyway.
You don't like the onion ring system?
You can't even eat onion rings.
Where's the ban button? Right here, block.
Look, we're already talking about
server.
We're already talking about hobbits. Might as well just be like the Frodo system or something like that.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, regardless,
so, that is the info dump that you have found by doing your massive amount of research. So you spend several hours on this, filtering information.
It's my pride and joy.
Meanwhile, you, Brock's character, Mr. Sequoia, you were going to do some hacking of the world.
Yes, I am. Sequoia.
Can I just send a psychic message, like as we peel off, like to him, her specifically saying, "If you get us in shit, I am disavowing you immediately."
I mean,
you are not connected to me.
I sent a message back and I'm like, we're free spacers. It won't matter anyway.
That is kind of true. You guys are considered as often the bad guy in movies as good guys in the movies. Right?
Yeah, we're the persona non grata. The Shadowrunners.
Yeah.
So. These are my people. I can talk to them.
Look, I sent a message back. It's like, look, if we want all the information, we're going to have to do some stuff that you might not like. I'm not sorry. And I just leave. I leave and I go do my hacking.
So, you have a pyramid library filled with a variety of assessors and information gatherers and scientists and scholars and that sort of thing. Where do you want to look for this information? Tell me what sort of place you'd be looking for, and I'll tell you how that makes sense in the setting or doesn't.
Yeah. Well, this is basically like it's basically a library or ecology. So
So they keep like secure systems are kind of like behind people, so you have to hack the person and then the person then the actual library, and then more private systems will be just kept in a place. You basically have to go into a room or something to activate it because they keep the area of influence really small. Like your personal area network is kind of a little bubble, so that people basically you'd have to hack you either use your tachyon comms, which you have active, or walk right up to you to do so.
You were saying that very small. Exactly. It's going to be hard for them to do that. House of Sparita is very much has a large intelligence network, as in like espionage. So
yeah, they do all sorts of things. They write AP news articles, they college handbooks, all sorts of things. But yeah, they're spies. They're totally fucking spies.
Yeah, that's why they're hiring us to go kill people. Let's see. I'm trying to find information on the operatives from the other factions, because that's really the only information that we don't have much on, other than the fact that we know nothing about the system. So I think I would be going to...
There's two things that we brought up in here, just to remind you. One, how do they know or have any idea that there's Cassini Ancients in PS96? To find that information, you would have to go over to the wing dealing with navigation and that sort of intelligence area.
Right. Like, so there's that one.
Their astronavigation division. To find security stuff, you would have to basically go into their counterintelligence and that sort of kind of area. So you basically have to go to the cop shop and then hack them.
I have to go to some places that are places to find classified things regardless. So it's just a question of how hard I'll get locked out from research, from hacking into it.
So to do that, you would probably have to get within range. Let's say you could try to walk in, you could climb through the walls, you could do a variety of things.
I'm very small. I could do the classic, find a vent, go through the vent and get in.
Okay, so quick thing, there aren't vents.
Okay.
No, you can still climb through the walls. There's space in between the walls, because inside the walls are what is known as life support arteries. The life support systems are biotech.
Okay.
So they have a giant, like, room filled with trees and stuff, and then they have, like, biotech tentacles going through the whole building in between every wall, and this is how your ship works too. Coming out of your hydroponics bay, your aponics bay, is all these little tentacles, and they go to every room and they provide air and water and all the things you need to live.
Right.
But there's always space inside those walls, because you can't overcrowd those things or they'll die.
Of course.
Plus, need to have a space for things like shutting down and the doors closing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a space in the walls. There is maintenance stuff behind them and that sort of thing.
Well, then I'm going through there.
Seems like a whole security system.
Nope. No one will know. No one.
No one will know. Okay, so if you want to do that sort of thing, you're basically going to be doing...
things I'm not good at.
Climbing inside a wall. Okay, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
It is probably... Okay, so what do we think is more important? How you get into the wall or climbing around inside them? Let's say you can get into a wall. Without leaving too much of a trace.
I mean,
Let's see. It is a parkour test. Athletics parkour. Climb around the inside of the wall to the point you need to go.
Does being agile help me?
It can, if you want to spend a charge on agility.
So I would get 2 from that. I'm going to be spending all of my charges just during the contract.
That's okay. You'll get new
negotiation.
ones at the beginning of next session. I don't
All right.
to
Then yeah, I'll do. Then yeah, I think I'll tag that when I'm doing this. So, athletics, parkour, 2 advantage dice then from just tagging that. Well, I have to hold on.
Yeah, so you're
I have
spending the
to
charge, and you're
put a charge.
activating that trait,
Yep.
and the trait is agile. And
Yep.
yes, agile is all about climbing and stuff,
Yeah.
or about clambering around. Climbing would have also worked, which is another type of thing you can have.
Mm-hmm.
I can fly.
I can jump really high because I had jumper. All right, so those are the only advantage dice I would get.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. What is the difficulty? Or the
Difficulty
threat
of
dice?
This seems a bit hard, and hard is 4.
Oh,
difficulty.
great. Oh boy, here we go.
Let's see what it rolls.
1 success. Yes.
Okay, that's a success. So, I've got to change it to say hits, but I can't do that on my sheet. Anyway, so you get 1 hit, which is equal to a success. So, we look at the outcomes for an encounter, and
So you made it partway through the wall.
And now you do another roll.
So, this is pretty much. There's a whole different set of like intentions.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you overcome these obstacles because it seems like overcome. Stealth
Okay.
is also kind of important, but I'll probably make you do one of those before you get to the location that you're actually at, and then we'll do the test, the hacking test.
Oh my god. I'm doing 3 rolls for this one thing.
Well, you're doing 2 rolls and then the 1 roll, yeah. To get access to secret info. So you kind of climb up the wall and you do perfectly fine by passing the obstacles, climbing around this and through that, banging around on the inside of the walls. It's not too bad. I mean, you're tiny, so you kind of fit. You crawl along and see different parts of the place, and you realize you're getting kind of close to what would be the restricted area. Because
Right.
you did this, obviously, I'm going to say, you did the bathroom effect. You went to the bathroom,
Yep.
which they're alien bathrooms, so they're super configurable and super sealed. But near the bathroom is a closet. So you went into the bathroom, used the bathroom, and then on the way out, you slipped into a maintenance closet and then climbed up in through a plate that you removed and started climbing around the inside of the walls. And the reason I didn't make you just do stealth right away is because this area is not that secure. You don't have to worry about sensor systems placed in the walls and that sort of thing.
Right.
Oh, hey
Are you
guys, I
thinking
thought
about
this
alien
was the
bathrooms?
bathroom.
Yeah, I just got lost. It's okay, guys. I
So we
totally
see
didn't mean to come here.
quick shot of you kind of crawling along, the close up of your face, your pan projecting photons, light ahead of you as you're getting enough light to kind of see. There's another way that you can see is because you're using your sensors. So your AR projects basically wireframes on anything you can't see with the low amount of light that you're willing to use.
Oh, nice.
So you can kind of see, but it looks like you're in a video game.
I mean, that's par for the course for me, I think.
There you go.
Yep.
So you're crawling along. It looks exactly like Die Hard, except you're a tree.
Except I'm a tiny tree person.
So you
Instead
realize
of being,
you're getting.
bald and older.
Yeah, exactly.
You realize you're kind of climbing into the counterintelligence and security area when you notice a sensor node up ahead of you.
I was expecting this, so
Yes, so they put sensors like in general in the rooms as extra basically a sensor system that scans that and the interior of the walls and everything. So you
Okay.
have to stealth your way through this.
right. The best way to stealth through sensor system is obviously to make it seem like I was never there to begin with and hack the sensor system. Can I do that? Or
Sure.
or do I have to do the more physical approach?
Well, the classic way of doing it is field dynamics plus holography to make
Oh.
the sensors not notice you.
I could also do that. It's just my inscription is better, obviously. So
You could. The problem with that is you have to get kind of close to it because
okay.
of what we said. Once you're close enough to it to do that, then you would be close enough to hack this other stuff. So
Okay,
I
then-
said yes,
then-
you can do that, but the problem is it detects you before you got there.
Yeah, then I'll do field dynamics holography will be fine then. I can do that.
So you,
All right.
you press that. The difficulty for this is also 4.
Can
And
I-
You
what
may use your shield's holoprojector if you want to spend your last charge. You really need to roll a greater than 3 and succeed.
Yeah.
And then you'll get more charge. Oh, by the way, you can also borrow charge from the other members of your crew if they're nearby.
Oh. I don't know if anyone's nearby.
Well,
How
this
long
one's
ago did I
doing
do my
research.
research? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
still
a good
doing
question.
that.
This whole time, you're currently doing the research, feeding
'Cause
information
currently-
to them.
Because currently I have 3 dice. The tagging my shield generator would give me 4.
Yeah.
And the difficulty is what?
4.
Also 4?
Yes.
I mean, I need to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get in. So we're doing this. All right.
Okay.
So field dynamics holography with 1 advantage dice because I only have 1 in that.
Yes.
And the threat dice are 4. Here we go. Oh, crap.
Okay, so you failed.
Ugh. No. No.
And here comes those 9 other dice.
Yeah, here come the 9 other dice just to make everything worse.
Okay, so
To be fair, if I
What
didn't
I
have that
want
extra
to
dice, I
do
would have
here.
got a -1.
Hmm.
I knew I should have just acted. I knew it.
okay, so you sneak in and you manage to avoid the sensors. They don't detect you at all.
Right.
But you create a kind of a warm patch, and you smell something very odd, and you are attacked.
Oh
Taking
boy.
3 dice out. You are attacked by a group of. You would call them rats if you were on Earth, and they weren't a cross between like. They basically look like little tiny, like 6-limbed dinosaur creatures, covered in a layer of moss that you totally missed because they look like they blended with the ground. Like the standard grass on this world is like a moss, and they have these like kind of plumage out of their back of the head that looks a lot like like flowers. So all of a sudden, these multicolored things kind of rise up around you and kind of jump on you.
Great. Great. That's
So
not
you're currently
at all
being
terrifying.
attacked. So
Shit.
let's
Am I
talk
the only
about
one
how
with 2
combat
attacks?
works.
Oh boy, combat.
So combat works like any of the other encounters,
Great.
like we've been doing. It's a type of it's called conflict, and there's a bunch of different stations in this as well to kind of tell you the different sorts of things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So fighters like natural weapon fighting, duelist is fighting with melee weapons, or your multi-tool as a sword,
Right.
shooter, tractor to move things around, and that sort of thing. Running, you can run, like Tresseur, pilot, shield engineer, sensor analyst, programmer, if they're hackable, which they aren't. Damage control to patch yourself. So, you're like, what the hell? So, if you just
Yeah.
want to attack them, they are a stock character, right? They're a little, what did I call them? They are a swarm.
Great.
And the difficulty of a swarm is equal to the number of distinct parts of the swarm. So sometimes if they're like really tiny. So this one difficulty is there's only 2 of these creatures attacking you. So difficulty is
Great.
going to be 2.
Okay.
They don't have any particular bonuses except infectious, which means they also have the ability to give you the infectious. They infect you with the disease.
Great. Disease-carrying mini velociraptor moss things.
Yes,
The
they're little
disease of
mossy,
happiness?
six-limbed creatures with little flowery things coming out of them.
All right.
Oh no.
Well, I want them to get off of me. So, there can I do like a shield burst or something to get them off of?
You can try to push them back by using tractor mechanics. You
Literally
could just attack
anything-
them and kill them with away weaponry. You could stab them with melee.
No.
All these things are kind of sucky at, but these are just these are pretty. These are just rats, dude. These are just rats.
Yeah, and then I could fail and get infected with some horrible disease.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want
could.
that.
Well, you can get that fixed. I'm sure
I'm
it's
not-
not a big deal.
Sure, right. I'm definitely gonna get fixed when I am dying in a restricted area of an organization who I'm not particularly ingrained with.
It takes
Sure.
a little while for the infection to take place. It's fine.
All right.
Okay, so as you will see, let's talk about. You're very worried about getting hurt, so we'll talk about that. So,
yes, this
if
is
you
not
go
what
down
I'm.
to condition slots on your character sheet, right below your link, there's condition slots on one side,
Mm-hmm.
your EVA suit on the other side. Your EVA suit has all your armor in it, and if this is correct, you didn't take any.
No,
Okay.
because I didn't think I was going to get attacked by moss monsters.
So this is
You
why I was
decided to
prepared.
crawl along the inside of a building and get attacked by rats.
Look,
So-
man.
You see, you have a bunch of different condition slots. So resilience is your body's resilience. If you fail this, you take a disadvantage to everything when you take one of these conditions. You can
Okay.
take up to 5 damage in this slot. If you want to have armor, you can take the armor just like the captain did. It's not a big deal. It's not noticeable on your EVA suit.
Yeah, on my EVA suit, which
It's on your
Yeah.
ship suit, which is your personal suit, which you're wearing underneath. You can have
Right.
any type of armor. So there are pathogen filters, plasma insulation, radiation barriers, combat armor, caustic coating, and pressure shells.
right.
So
Fortunately, it's a little bit late for that.
okay,
So
I would let you do it because obviously you guys don't know how to play the game yet, so you didn't do it.
I mean, it wouldn't be in character for me to have armor on it anyway, to be honest. So
Well, you wear your ship suit, and
yeah, I wear my
garnishing
ship
Your
suit.
ship suit would be totally fine. That's what we're talking about. Your ship suit can
Yeah.
have any of those.
I guess.
Do you want that or not? You seem like you don't. I'm just
nah,
giving you the
nah.
opportunity because it's fair.
Nah, we're gonna see what happens. I think. Dead.
So these little creatures, which you don't really know what they are, basically moss rats, have the stealthy trait, which is how they were so hidey, and the infectious trait, and there's only 2 of them. So their difficulty
Okay.
is 2.
Good.
So if you take 1 point of damage, it fills 1 condition slot, like in Fate or with those other games that use
Right.
conditions. If you take a pathogen, it's going to go in the special pathogen slot.
Oh boy.
You can heal yourself or have someone heal you by taking a patch.
Okay.
You can only heal yourself of patches or conditions properly in like a med bay. And then it doesn't matter, or you don't have to do a skill roll at that point. You're just basically spending money. Costs you money
Okay.
to fix that. Okay.
Right.
So
Died of that
we've
hole in
explained
your
all the stuff and the things. How are you going to defend yourself from these guys? So let's talk about combat maybe first. Do you want to know how combat
Yeah.
works?
Yes, that might be
Okay.
nice.
So in Free Spacer, combat works is very, very player facing. So you tell me what you want to do. You do that in any order you want. So say you're all in the combat. Any of you can go first. That person's task can be coordinated with the next person's task, which gives them an advantage. So if you all shoot the same guy, each of you get the same advantage. Because you're passing one to the next. Only the first person doesn't get the advantage.
Right.
Or if they would otherwise logically help each other. It's called coordination. It's one of the ways of getting advantage. There's a couple other types of advantage you can get as well. But we won't go over that because we don't want to overcomplicate it. After you're done, if what you didn't take into account what the enemy was doing, what the foe was doing, then I compel you to do another task to avoid that. So, say you decide to run away and they're attacking you. You obviously aren't paying attention. You are kind of paying attention to the run. So if you fail, you'll be getting the outcome of that attack. But if you succeed, you don't.
Right.
If you are doing hand-to-hand combat, you're obviously blocking and hitting at the same time. So you don't, if you fail or succeed, if you succeed, you don't have to deal with that. If you're shooting and they're shooting at you, there's no blocking involved in that. So you will also have to defend yourself with your shield. So it works like that. On shipboard combat's pretty much exactly the same, except you kind of almost always have to put someone into a defensive position, because otherwise they end up having to use multiple systems simultaneously, and that gives them a disadvantage. Anyways, that doesn't matter though right now.
Now,
so if you shoot at these creatures, they will still be attacking you, so you also have to defend yourself. If you just run, they'll attack your shields and could just get bounced off your shields.
Oh,
that kind of
idea.
You can just run away and get away.
That's. I think that's what I'm gonna try doing.
Okay.
That seems like the best option right now.
Okay, cool.
So what do I use for that?
That is parkour. You're running.
Yes. Things I'm good at.
You can also you could say you were jumping, like leaping ahead and use your jump, but you need charge for that.
I'm out of charge.
I know you are. He thought he was large and in charge. He's just not.
Look, the first roll was difficulty 6. I don't know what you expected.
I didn't expect you to go and research stuff you'd know you'd find out next week. I mean, come on, you're researching stuff that you shouldn't know.
He's not here. I'm gonna find out.
That's fine.
But
That's good. I'm glad.
Anyway, all right.
I try not to pull too many punches because I'm too nice of a GM.
All right, parkour. I have no advantage dice.
9 dice.
2 threat dice. And go. 1 success. Yes.
Okay, so
3 8s.
What we do in this game is we look at the different kind of outcomes that would make sense for this. So you're trying to run. Unfortunately, you only rolled a basic success. So you're probably not going to get away entirely.
God damn it.
I know, what a jerk.
No, it's fine. Something else I did want to do, because I have like my AR display and stuff. Can I like take a picture of them and send it to Craig and be like, "Hey, do you know what these are?"
They're moss things.
Lol being attacked right now. Please tell me what these are.
Okay, so the other thing is, unless you say otherwise, or it's almost on an instinct level, like in a burning wheel or something, you can basically record everything you see all the time.
Good.
You have infinite hard drive space. It doesn't matter. And it's all private unless someone hacks your secure side of your pan. And then they can see everything you've done, but then they have to research through you going to doing BMs all day. Like, it's a lot of work. Okay, so...
Why were you sitting in the bathroom for an hour?
So, the different types of intentions for an encounter of this, and there is a bunch of them, but the one that would make sense is pursue/flee, which means you get ahead because you only rolled a success. If you rolled complete, you would have gotten away. So by getting away, it means you're ahead of them. They're far behind you, and you're kind of losing them. So you could try to do that again.
Okay.
And you'll get an advantage because you're ahead of them.
I will keep running.
Okay, so you're just booting through, kind of doing this big loop. Are you just leaving, or are you just trying to do a loop and stay close to your destination of choice?
Probably doing doing a loop, trying to lose them so I can get to the place I'm trying to get to.
Okay, so your shields you're still trying to do the stealth thing. and it's kind of hard, but you're also running. You're just moving really quickly and trying to get away from them.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're ahead of them. They are still rushing after you. Go ahead and roll parkour again. Athletics parkour. Difficulty. You get +1. You get an extra advantage.
Yeah, extra advantage.
You get
Nice.
an advantage for being ahead of them.
Yes. Is the threat still 2?
Yes. There's still
Okay,
two of
good.
them.
There are still 2 of them. I didn't lose one. All right, here we go. 0 successes.
Okay. You are so awesome at this playing games thing.
Yeah, dude, I'm so good at rolling. I'm the best at rolling, didn't you know?
Okay, so
This is how Sequoia dies.
this is how
Being chased by monsters.
the rats. They're this big. They're tiny little monsters.
Yeah, I'm also half a meter tall. Those are pretty big in my
You
eyes.
size your hands. It's fine. Okay.
It's pretty large.
Now, can we see anything of what's going on with him?
He can communicate via tachyons with you.
I already sent you a thing being like, do you know what these are?
Okay, so
I only sent
can-
it to you
we
though,
can-
because the captain's kind of busy doing negotiation, and also
the
told me
captain's
he
mostly
will disavow.
waiting for like them to have time, and he's doing like pre-interviews and stuff. We'll talk about that in a second if he wants to roll like
Right.
a social
Aim for the
pre-interviews
nose.
or and stuff thing.
so
Those
can
historians-
I research them to give him an advantage?
Sure, I'll let you do
Yes.
that. But
Yes.
they catch him.
Damn it.
So
using
they
those
have caught
dice.
you. You find yourself cornered behind them. You can't run away anymore. They've cornered you. You ran around the thing. You notice they kind of surrounded you. You're backed into a corner. You're going to have to murder kill them.
All right,
Punch them in the nose.
Something.
murder them. All right, murder. Best murder tool I have. Literally none of the things I have. If there was a vehicle here, be great, but there isn't. There's just like there's
So funny. You're like, I'm gonna do this crazy recon thing as a hacker, and then you're not good at it.
I'm not good at recon. I'm good at hacking, but getting to the stuff that is good to hack requires recon, and I'm not not like that. All right.
Okay.
So
So-
note for self: next time, if you go hacker, go recon.
Yeah, go hack or go recon. Don't do pilot. Or just bring a vehicle with me everywhere. Obviously.
Well, you can. By the way, next session, you can move one of your specialties within this department. Only reason I didn't let you last time is because you'd already basically just made your character. So.
It's fine. All right. So basically, I have to choose gun or sword.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, unless you didn't want to do tractoring either. You are.
It's
Pretty
all the
much
same
the
for
same.
me. Yeah. It's legitimately just a case of.
I would suggest sword because then you don't have to worry about defending as well.
All right, sword.
Okay,
we're choosing.
so first,
we're going Pacific Rim on this. Sword.
in the middle of in the middle of this, your friend here is doing some research to try to give you advantage on how to kill rodents.
How to kill rodents for dummies.
So, do you want to roll a extra little research? It's actually probably it could also be geosciences planetology or maybe biosciences agriculture. What are you good at there, Derek?
I'm not
What
good
is
at
Kyle good
geoscience
at?
besides mining. Bioscience, I'm good at medicine. So yeah, no research.
Okay. So you're just getting general information. I'm not going to give you like bio, but I will give you a bonus if you manage to succeed on this information.
Okay. So,
So,
let me check here.
They're kind of a common thing. They are pests that are found a lot on this planet. I will get it's
Okay.
2 difficulty as well.
It's 2 difficulty. There's no advantage?
You know what they are because you get those pictures, so you don't really get an advantage from them.
Yes.
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. You don't really get advantage. All you do,
Damn
you
it.
just know what they are because of the picture.
Okay.
Google reverse image search.
Pretty much.
There you go. Okay, so and threat is 2, so it's a 3v2. Nope.
You spend a bunch of time pretty much in research on a
BuzzFeed.
variety of pests on this planet.
BuzzFeed. 52 ways to get rid of these pests. The 37 will shock you.
You find out
I'd like to
Like-
think that he was just too busy with the other stuff and was just like, yeah, no, I can't find anything.
God damn it. God damn it. God damn it, Craig. Why do I have to... sword.
Okay.
Gonna slice these guys in bits.
Okay, why don't you roll real good and then win?
Alright. Alright. I'll roll 2 dice versus 2 dice. It'll be great. Alright, melee. No advantage. 2 threat dice. 2 successes!
Okay. So, all that whining, and then you murder kill.
Look, man, you taunted me, and that's what happens.
Salty, salty whining. Okay, cool.
I didn't know I was gonna not die. Hey, man. This is also like Sequoia being like, this was not what I was thinking would happen.
So, you manage to defend yourself against them, and you kill one of the creatures.
Yes.
So you get this like leaning forward multi-tool, and it's got a little blade, and the blade you can move it around. So you probably gotta go out the front. And you're like, and you got the blade shortened up, and you're like, this little helix of force energy kind of goes, and it just flats one of them.
Nice. All right.
Okay, so there's still one left. It's kind of a little mindless thing. Whatever you're doing to make yourself stealth is still making them kind of crazy, and it's still wants to kill you. So it's
Good.
lunging at you now, looking a little bit angry that you murdered its
Well, that's just
wife
too bad.
or whatever.
Well, that's just too bad.
Are
You know
you
what's
gonna
gonna
try to
happen?
stab it again?
Yes.
Okay, so difficulty is now 1
Good.
because it's
All right.
equal to the number of creatures there are.
Melee.
There's one
No
left.
advantage. 1 dice. All right, here we go.
So by the way, so we know you did 2 points of damage.
Yes.
Plus 1 point for your success,
Mm-hmm.
which is 3. But they have 2 integrity slots, which take 7 each. So you'd have to overflow 7 to kill both of them. So if you
Oh.
would have done 8 damage somehow, like you would have rolled
Somehow.
3, and then used some of your charged pulse to increase the damage, you could have killed them both.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just killed 1. But now the
That's
difficulty is easier.
Right. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
The other 2 successes.
Okay, so you're like, and they're both dead.
There we
All
go.
that whining, and you killed them. There you go.
Yeah.
So you're just like, I ran around everywhere, and you look down, and in your enhanced vision, you realize you're pretty much inside the pocket right now of
Yes.
the area you can do this hack job from.
Good. I send a message to Craig being like, hey, I dealt with it. Thanks.
You get an AFK
Attaboy.
back, I think.
Thanks. Thanks /S. Just like I sent it over. All right. I'm gonna jump in and we're gonna do some hacking.
Okay. So,
Finally.
Finally, exactly. It only took like 6 rolls.
well, that's what happens when you fail.
It's true. That is what happens when you fail.
Suck.
Rolls create more rolls.
Okay, so they're just hacking away.
This is what I've done. Yeah.
Okay, you're just trying to get information. So you're basically trying to crack the system
Mhm.
and get this information from this little LAN server.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
So, as we said, all of the difficulties for the standard contract are 3.
Okay.
So you have a 3 difficulty hacking task.
Cool. Unfortunately, I have no charge. Otherwise, I could use Dev Kit.
Yes, you could have used
Okay.
that kit.
Yeah, I could have had 6 dice.
But you decided you wanted to run fast.
Look, man. I thought it would work, but it didn't. Actually, no. I used it. I used my last charge to get in, because I didn't have any. I didn't have any charge left later.
Yeah, you
That's
have
what I
3
used
charges. You use 1 to research while flying,
Yeah.
1 to get into the wall, and another to try and bypass
Right.
the center.
Yeah. That was the other one. I only had 3.
Good for. Oh, okay.
I have a capacity of 4. I only started with 3. All right, we're gonna
Okay.
hack.
So roll really, really good.
We can only hope.
But you did blow through a bunch of my things. I only have 2 dice left in the cup.
And I got a success.
There you go. Now,
Yeah.
do you wish to add more dice to the cup? And increase that to 3.
Considering how many I blew through, because I blew through, what, 7 dice or something like that? Or I threw through like 6 dice.
I think you could have 1.
7 dice.
Yeah.
You blew through 5 dice, I think. Yeah.
5. Okay. Yeah. Let's make it a complete success because we haven't had one here yet.
Okay, so that makes it 7 over 7. Cool. Excellent. Okay, so you're trying to find out pretty much their counterintelligence information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so although the Marquita Rue have withdrawn to Renasona, they seem to be outfitting a vessel to continue to pursue the Cassini Ancients. They're still very interested in that. And information on the vessel. It is, let me look at the ship stuff so I get the information correct. You're not like, hey, but you said last time. I'd be like, because that's not a thing. Okay,
They're sending an entire battleship. It's gonna be fine.
pretty much. No.
We get there, it's just a little frigate.
This is the strength of House Esperita's intelligence network. They're sending an entire battle crew show up. There's 1 frigate. Well, I guess they were wrong.
Okay, so
The equivalent of a space speedboat.
Yeah.
you guys know how it kind of works. There are 3 classes of ships at Rim and Core level science. The system boat, which is a 1,000-ton vessel that tends to stay within system. Difficulty is ordinary, 2. A corvette, which is also what you have. You have a contingency class corvette. That is the regular difficulty of 3, and they're about 3,000 tons. And then frigates, which are hard, and they begin at 4. There's bonuses for a variety of different traits they can have, and they're 5,000 tons.
Right.
There is also shuttles. Shuttles are stock characters, and they fly in formation squadrons. So they come in a whole variety, and they do have scout variants and stuff that can have full drives. Sometimes only one will, sometimes they all will, and then they basically fold together and move around. They are sending a scout version of a systems boat and a small squadron. They're worried that they're sending the systems boat that they've been rigging up that is set up for fold. It's a scout vessel, and that there's also look like they're sending a group of shuttles. There's also notes that the scout vessel may actually have carrier capacity, and that's probably how they're going to be sending it. So it may actually be a small vessel, there's lots of conflicting information, but so they're either sending a corvette or a system boat with carrier capacity to be carrying 1 or 2 squadrons of shuttles.
Okay.
You guys could easily handle a squadron. You could probably handle a corvette. The system boat for sure. Carrier in some ways is easier if it isn't particularly well set up for fighting. You're just gonna have to deal with the shuttles and then take that out.
Right.
That sort of thing could be sent. There are some names that come up because you rolled a full amount, and they're actually, I believe, Let me double check. I think they're yes, they're some of the people that may have escaped from your raid on their base on Finvar. So you sent in basically XMI groups. You were worried. The former captain was a bit worried that they would find out about it from hacking comms, but he was also worried that too much time and they would figure it out and start evacuating. Right. So he went with the comms approach, and it is believed that Marlin may have escaped and may be leading this group.
Okay.
The former crew never actually met her, but they believe, according to the information on the server, that Marlin was actually aboard the aquatic research base and was the group that came in and then left when everything went crazy. Because the base was basically under siege by the Marquis de Rue, and Marlin and her Marines had come aboard, and then it turned out that one of the scientists had been corrupted by some sort of weird alien stuff and had gone crazy. And once the former crew started releasing some of the... they have these big connectors between the alien spire and the research base around it. Once those started getting released and things looked like they were really going to hell, they just withdrew. So it is likely her that is leading either the shuttles or the ship. Information that's a little bit dodgy.
Right. Okay, cool.
And
military commander, great.
She's a bit of a Marine from what they say. There's a little bit of a dossier on her. It's not very long. It marks her as a oh, that's the wrong person. Anyways, marks her as a freedom fighter with like a specialty in like aquatic situations, which is why she was sent into this one. And she's kind of a bit of a colonist, like leader. So she came to the sector as a colonist and got radicalized according to the database. Cool.
All right. So that's Marquis de Rue. How about 8th Avatar or Seekers of the Return? Do you have anything on them?
You find out that the bounty for the 8th Avatar operatives is whisper only. They only have whispers that they could be interested. They suspect more that they're doing virtual like data trolling and stuff. Part of the reason that this is on your contract is because they're hoping you're going to spend too much on that particular group, and then they'll get the other stuff for you cheaper.
Of course they are. I guess I'll need to reach out to 8th Avatar at some point. How about our favorite religious zealots?
The religious zealots, they have very little information in. They suspect that Seeker of the Return operatives may have infiltrated their group, and one group looks like they may have stolen or also have a scout level systems boat that they might just kind of pop in. They're pretty much underpowered in the general area and are spending most of their time concentrating on setting up those 3 systems that are now in alliance. Those are the Seekers running those systems. Their society is kind of spacer based, so they don't really have a lot of territory. So going off on these big trips is unlikely. They don't want anyone else to claim this area, but they're more like, we got to keep our stuff safe because they're kind of insecure on their stuff. So this is also probably a bit of a red herring even being on the contract.
Okay, cool.
I mean, one of them could be aboard the Marquis de Rue ship pretending to be Marquis de Rue, or one of them could, try to sneak on board your ship or something, but it seems less likely.
Okay, good to know.
So
then
I'll pretty good info for your troubles.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'll keep a note being like, talk to 8th Avatar about this, and then I'll send out the info to the captain and to Craig. Just be like, hey, Marquis de Rue is the real issue here. If there are any claim jumpers, 8th Avatar is not an issue, and Seekers of the Return might show up, but probably not.
Cool.
Interesting.
Okay, so that is 2 projects. Captain, did you want to do something besides your actual captaining act? And then we got 1 more. So you can do your captaining thing, or you could also speak to people. So I can set the scene if you tell me what you're thinking.
Well, where am I currently? What am I doing?
So, back in time, you had just split off from everybody, and you're being led along. If you want to do 2 tasks, then we will do you next, and you can maybe interview some of the people that you're kind of waiting. You're kind of waiting to see this guy. Like, he's in some meetings or something, and so you're kind of led to kind of the cafeteria. You could go around and try to gather information. You could find someone you think is an easy mark and talk to them. You could do something else that you came up with. Or you could allow someone else to do something else if they have a better idea. What do you think?
I don't particularly have one, to be honest.
Do you like that idea that I brought up now, or...
If you want to give it to one of them, if they've got a better idea, I'm quite happy to just do my captain duty.
Brock or Derek, do you have an idea, or do you think he should do the information gathering thing, or what?
I don't know what other info we could be getting. The thing.
You could try to find out what they know about the Cassini
Right,
ancients.
the ancients. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Are people in the canteen who are just chilling eating their lunch, are they going to know much about the ancients?
There's scientists in there.
Researchers, man.
Scientists,
Get in there.
There's a whole variety of
mingle.
people.
Yeah,
so if
get
you
in there
want
and
to
mingle,
do the second task and talk to some of these people, but just go
Yeah,
in.
go on. I will do that. I'll just walk up to the nearest scientist and be like, hey!
What do you know about this stuff?
What do you know about this stuff that's not public?
Be like, hey, you probably don't know this, but I am House of Dispatcher myself. I was actually a Delta Phi, the sorority. I remember the beer keg still. I feel like it was yesterday. Basically, we're here to help you with a certain mission, and I'd like to know if there's any information you can give me.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple targets, and you can tell me exactly what you say to them now that I know your general idea. So you see there's like a couple different groups. You kind of, as you walk by with a tray, because they basically went, hey, you grab yourself something to eat, blah, blah. So your AI told you, hey, grab yourself something to eat. You have 25 minutes before your meeting. He's running late on his last meeting.
If you insist.
And they basically send you like a lunch chit, and so you go in line and you notice there's all these different people. It's like a kind of like a tech industry canteen. There's lots of little tables. People just kind of mingling around the salad bar and that sort of thing.
Slot, I remember.
What is your approach? There's some humans. There's lots of Onic kind of sliming their way around.
Are there any Alatas?
There is a couple of them kind of having a conversation, kind of standing in the corner. They're just kind of standing there. They're talking to each other kind of stiffly and talking about something. They are wearing standard scientist garb, so...
Yeah, I'll go talk to them. My people.
So you kind of sidle up over to them, and they kind of look over, and you go, "Who are you?" And it was like, "Hey." So here's a quick question. Often, you have a pan. The pan has public information on it to tell you who you are and your names and stuff like that, if you wish, or you can run completely silent on the information. So you can be broadcasting Free Spacer, FRS, Auspicious, Captain, all that information on the outside. Most people have something. So what you see on their pans are Project 4726, scientists and their names: Dr. Holston, Dr. Friend.
Wow, a lot of doctors in the room, eh?
Did you say that? They're like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the no. The coffee guy does have a doctorate. What's it in again? And they just have this conversation. They're looking at you, and you're like, yeah. Everybody's got a doctorate. What's your doctorate in? They look at you.
My doctor is an ass kickery. You may not have heard of it. It's very elitist subject.
They kind of
Only
laugh.
taught in a certain couple of institutes.
They just kind of laugh. Oh, yeah. What do you? Oh, you're. Do you have it listed on your pan that you're like free spacer and stuff? Because you kind of
Yeah.
expected because you're
Yeah.
here for a meeting. Or did you hide
Yeah.
that away?
No, yeah, I'll have it, and I'll have capped it in bold and underlined.
Oh yeah. So like, oh, free spacer. Yeah. What the hell are you doing here? I knew we were desperate, but come on. They'd laugh. So you have a doctor in ass kickery, and you're a free spacer captain. How did they drag you into that? You seriously used to be one of us? What'd you do?
I did, yeah. I was a peacekeeper.
Oh. they laugh like we didn't do nothing.
No, so yeah.
So
yeah.
did you find red mist like all the time? Because I know half my colleagues are on that shit.
I assume that's a drug of some sort.
Yeah, that's like a. It's a kind of it's an odd drug where you need like a face mask. You kind of put it over, and then this mist kind of pumps out and makes you feel really high.
Okay. Oh god, yeah. Like every day I was posting people for it left and right.
Yeah, it's quite the party drug. I hear, and they both laugh.
I may have been out of the game for a couple of weeks now, but I still know some people.
He looks at you and goes, okay, I knew this one guy. I think he had a double doctorate in economy or something.
Oh, yeah.
He made a bet that he could fly across the entire city because of the thick atmosphere, because he was totally high on red mist. I know it's low gravity, but it's a distance. Didn't make it anywhere near the distance. He was just too freaking high. He said he'd do it after 3 hits, and he hit just before the wall. The building. He hit the actual building. I don't know if it was a reflection or something. It was crazy.
Liam just like sends a mental message like, I'm talking to some high people, and
I'm
not
like,
getting very far.
I'm probably like sneaking around right now. I'm just like, I don't know why you're surprised. They're academics. Going.
But they're like, oh, we never. Oh, well, once or twice at a party, but it's just that guy. He's such a stoner. I don't even know why they have economists in this area.
I am your bro. I won't rat you out.
It's like,
I'm not
okay,
in
no
the
worries.
line of work.
I'm not worried. You're not even in you're not even in the shit anymore. You're a free spacer.
Not
You're
worried,
in space
guys.
out there. So,
I still know some people. This is all I'm saying.
oh, I'm sure they'd laugh. So, what's up? You here for a big contract? House Osperetta getting you to fix all our finances? I know that guy didn't. And they both laugh again.
You could say that. I'm here about the ancients.
They look at you and go, okay. You know,
But
see her over there? And you look over and you see an onyx, kind of a pinky color onyx sitting in the corner, obviously on the data flow. She's totally on that subject. She talks about it all the time. I don't believe
really?
a word of it. It's crazy. What did she
Oh,
say
yeah, no
last
doubt.
time? Oh yeah, they had full drives and they could get in people's heads. In their heads. That doesn't make any sense.
No, definitely sounds crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go talk to her because you are both kind of real big disappointments on the information front. Have a good day.
Damn. Damn.
Do you actually say that?
Yeah.
They look at you like, whatever.
Also,
And you see they flip up their information and they go grab some
Hopefully you're
Some
streaming
bagels.
this so we can see this and just be like, yeah, they were.
And my character can be like, hey, they said free food, right?
So yeah, Liam walks over to the Oni.
Bring me a doggy bag.
He sighs.
Okay, so give me half a second. Let me double check the Onyx look like. So you walk
So
over and she's kind of just.
Huh?
She's sitting there and she's drinking this. It looks like kind of looks to us. It would look like a strawberry milkshake.
Okay.
But you know Onyx are hemophages. So that means it's one of their many types of it's basically a blood shake, man.
Liam sits across from her at the table.
And she's just saying this, and you can tell she's got like a million windows up, and she's like muttering to herself, and she's going through the information. Her little tentacles are kind of flashing around, and she kind of looks at you like she's like, "Who are you?"
Oh, hi.
And she stops and she looks. Obviously, she's reading your tags. It's like, free spacer. What do you want with me?
I just heard that you were the leading expert here in the ancients, and I was curious to hear some of your theories.
Okay. You're obviously trying to flatter her. Do you want to make the roll now?
I mean,
Let's do the roll.
That's also just a statement of fact for him. That's kind of all he's heard so far, is that she is the only one here who knows anything. But yeah, one more roll then.
That sounds like persuasion. I mean, if you're lying, it would
not
be
performance.
You just told me it was a fact.
Yeah, persuasion. Yeah, okay.
And you can use your social tools if you want. If you spend a charge, you can use House Beretta.
Okay.
As an association. They're right below condition slots.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So you'll get 1 die for that.
Okay. Advantage, so 1.
Yes. And the difficulty is 3.
One success.
Ooh.
That's -1.
Oh, shit.
Welp.
That's how it works.
Yeah, you rolled 1 success on these and 2 negatives. Okay, Okay, so oh crap, what do I do about this?
I feel like Liam's just like he's just really nice.
You have like all the fucking dice. I don't know how you even rolled that. Okay, so
I took all of his luck from my melee rolls.
yeah.
That's what happened.
Okay, so I just need to look at some outcomes here.
Rip.
Okay.
So are we live streaming a thing, and we're just sitting here watching him fail at this?
Yeah, probably. If
I
he
hope
said
so.
He was. Captain, are you streaming all this so they can get all the information?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just
Craig-
watching him. She looks at him like, "You're making fun of me."
I'm not.
Craig and Sequoia are basically the chat just spamming email.
Like even Craig's antisocial behavior is not on par with that, man.
She's like, "I'm not supposed to talk about any of my information." And you can see she's just cleaned her whole thing, and I have to report you to security.
Okay.
So you see a human and a Septox in security uniforms, kind of moving
boy.
your direction through the crowd.
Do I have
on
my
the other
gun?
side to Onyx in security uniforms, moving from the other side. And what do you say?
So do I have my gun on me?
You
You
have a
always do.
multi-tool. It's not a gun. It's a multi-tool.
Well, I can stab people and I can shoot people.
Yes, you can't do one of those with a gun.
It's a bayonet.
It's a gun sword. It's a gun sword, man. It's a gun sword.
It's a tool that you can use to screw in nails and stuff too.
It's great. It has multiple.
Anyway, so they're moving towards you, and you see they're obviously exchanging information with her, and they walk up to you and go, "I think you're late for your meeting, sir."
Yeah, it does seem that way. He looks over to the woman, and he's like, "Thank you for your time. As unhelpful as you are as well." And then he stands up and lets the guards escort him away.
And they escort you up to a waiting room outside that particular individual we talked about. So, you do not have a lot of reserve right now, unfortunately. So, escort you up to
literally, people is my thing. People is my thing.
I know, that was a lot of dice, and you rolled them all badly.
Wow. That was just
terrible
was
role
terrible.
playing. Terrible. Okay, so
She called security, man. Like,
called security on you.
All I did was ask her a question. Apparently.
yeah, I know, yeah. Just like,
In this
oh,
place
Just came off
learning,
as too much
asking
recruiter.
questions.
she didn't even know which ancients you were asking about. You could have been asking about any kind of ancients.
Could have
Come
asked
on.
about the settlers.
You basically walked up to her and asked about her secret research, and so she freaked out and called security.
I feel like the other alliance I was
Just walk
talking
right
to too
there.
high to think about that.
Hey.
If I was there, I would have hacked her pan so she couldn't have called security. Keep going.
So,
No,
anyways,
I was very tempted to pull the gun on her. Just be like, excuse me.
Oh, in the middle of the library.
Yeah.
Just right there. Everybody's watching. Tell me.
so
I am the law.
Okay,
Anyway.
great.
Sorry.
You were sitting in a white room. There are two human security guards standing in front of one of the doors, and after a couple minutes, Anak enters the room. You recognize him from your message earlier. The humans leave the room and shut the door behind them. You were in the room with your client. He looks at you and goes, "Hello, I am Accessor Pradesh. I heard from one of my researchers that you were asking questions about secure information."
I was indeed. Yeah, but that is the truth.
We did not invite you here for that. We invited you here for a job. Made a deal with your patron commissioner to borrow. Well, that's fine. Please don't bug any more of my researchers. Some of them get very nervous.
I just thought that considering the information I was after was relevant to the job, that it was kind of within my team's right to know it, considering you're sending us into an unmarked zone.
Of course,
with
we'll give
unknown
you all
inhabitants.
the information you need.
I
Don't
doubt
worry.
that.
Okay. So you've seen the contract, and what do you think? I think it's a very exciting exploration. We managed to get a colonization license for PS 096. It's very exciting. Aren't you think it's very exciting?
So I learned from Sio. What?
Sequoia
Lady.
over here.
That was the one.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I learned from her that two of the bounties supposed to be going after of the killing of the 8 avatars and the seekers aren't actually going to be an issue, didn't I?
Yes. So you don't have to use that stuff directly like this. You can just not put points on it. You're allowed to do that. So what we're going to be doing here is once you're going to do some bargaining or some charming or whatever you think is most appropriate, some pushing on this fellow, you're going to gain points as well. Maybe you can roll a really good amount and get a lot of points. And then you are going to spend them on various things here. So any of these things, these objectives, which actually should say ob in front of them. I don't know why I didn't do that. So these objectives, they're going to be worth 100 if you put 1 point in it. If you put 2 points in it, they're going to be worth 200.
Okay.
So the bounties, they are worth the amount based on how many of those things you find. So if you find a lot of samples of habitable worlds, you'll get more money. If you put more points into it, you get more of a bonus on top of the 175. So if you put 1 in it, you're just doing that thing. If you put 2 in it, you get 10%, 10 RV bonus on every bounty.
I just realized it mentions the ancients on the contract, so I'm kind of just asking if it's already on the contract. Well, why is that top secret? I feel like that's... What?
It's just secure information. People have heard of this existing, but you're not supposed to go around asking people, scientists, about it.
Especially not even before you introduce yourself.
Okay.
So we can all do this part together. We're gonna do this. So you've already got 2 RV, and I've 2 reserves spent in open trade and the privilege article, which you need.
Oh, okay, right.
And you're going to get a local credit off of that, and whichever character wants to take the local credit can use it. That's how you buy things. It's basically like a die, and you can spend charge on it and everything, just the same way as any of the other tools. Okay, so all that stuff's in there. So you basically have to decide which ones of these you want to put points on, and we need to do a scene right now on how you bargain with this fellow. So if you're an economist, you can basically go, okay, I start spreading out numbers and talking about costs and stuff, and do that sort of thing. If you're your type, we basically have a little scene on how you lie to him, or you charm him, or you suck up, or whatever, so that he likes you more, and then you get points for that. So we'll do that. I was just kind of explaining how this works, because you're like, oh, I have to attack the individual things. You don't have to do that. You get to choose it. They let you choose it. This is your control as players over the contract in a lot of ways as well. You can also, by the way, add new addendums to this. Like, say you knew you were going somewhere, you could buy a bunch of trade goods here, then get the ability to trade with someone else and sell those trade goods somewhere else and make more money. You can do that sort of thing too. So say you find a bunch of things in this location, you could put that all aboard your ship and then use the trade articles to sell them back to House of Spreada.
Okay.
You don't have to spend points on any of that because you have the open trade with them. You can't just go trade with anybody.
Okay.
So, together we're going to do all the points, but let's first do the scene and see if you can get us more points, since we only have currently 7 and 5 left. But you know not to spend extra points on those 2 extra bounties. So you're not going to probably put points on those at all, because they're not going to make you any money.
No, I was just thinking that Liam would probably call them out on it and say, why are you trying to waste time? But
you can totally do that. If that's the approach you want to take, that's great. That sounds awesome.
I just feel that Liam is this very blunt, very... Why are you trying to fuck with me? So, yeah.
Okay, so that is kind of aggressive. I guess it's still persuasion. So go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted that. I was just trying to...
Hardball.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Oh,
so he looks at you and goes...
Why? Sorry, continue. You first, sir.
He's like, so, what do you think of the contract?
Don't know if you know this about me. I actually used to be within your organization. I used to work as peacekeeper. And
Yes. We're very excited about that. When we heard that one of our war heroes was a member of this free space recruit, we were very happy on that front.
I don't know how to say this, but I'm pretty sure I've busted like half of your staff for red mispossession.
Yes, it's very popular. I think our labs are constantly curing the addiction to that and the problems that come on. I mean, it's all curable and stuff. It is a huge pain. They get fined if they get caught too many times.
Yeah. Okay. Liam seems unconvinced by that. He's a. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Well, I've looked at your contract. I've looked over it, and I'm pretty curious. Why are you trying to waste our time with the Eighth Avatar and the Seeker of the Return when you know they're probably not going to be there?
Well, I mean, we don't necessarily know that they're not gonna be there. We know that
you have strong
that
suspicions.
The Eighth Avatar. I mean, we've had several data. Lots of hacking lately, and lots of problems with their operatives. And they are very interested in the information on this. And the Seekers of Return, I mean, you can never ever trust the Tarnished Interregnum.
No.
I mean, the Seekers, they're out there, they're everywhere looking for things, and you can't trust those terrorists. I mean, they want the system back. They want it all back from the articularium of Dionysus, you understand? And so you can't trust them. We put on most of our contracts, to be honest, because they're always giving us trouble. But obviously that can be struck if you're not interested. We just move that right off of there. I mean, free spacer contracts are open in negotiation. That's the whole point of free spacers. That's why it's an efficient system.
Yeah. Can I roll for insight to see if you're trying to feed me a line? Is that how insight works?
Yeah, if you want, what would you like to be the role for the contract? Do you want it to be the insight one? Do you want you've raised his ire by talking to him like that, and then you do an insight and get a bunch of information off him and use that as a points? Or do you just want to do this as a lead up to whatever you want to do your role on?
I try to do this as a leader. I want to see if he's trying to.
Okay.
He's trying to feed me a line.
Go ahead then. I will look at his character. Okay, difficulty's 5.
Okay.
He's definitely feeding the line.
Seems like it, yeah. Okay, so what can I do here now? So I get 3 by default, don't I, for the...
Okay, let's look
I
at
get 4.
this.
I get 4, don't I? Because I have 1 in insight and then I have 3 in psychology.
So you would have four
That gives
dice.
you 4 dice automatically. So you get 3 for your expertise in sophantology and 1 for your specialty in insight.
Okay.
And then you can spend a point in House Susperetta to get an extra die, if you wish. Or you can just roll that and hope you win on
I'll just roll that, yeah. So threat dice is 5.
Yes.
Okay. I got 0 successes.
Okay, so you kind of evaluate him, and as far as you can tell, he's basically telling you the truth. He's not leading you down a... he's a bit slippery. There's a couple things you can tell from this that are entirely true. He has a noble background. He has been a member of the house for a long time. That's how he got the assessor rank, probably. That is a noble rank in the House Susperetta. You know that. That's not even involved in this role. And it's pretty obvious that he takes his job as a representative of the house and dealing with external groups very seriously. And despite his bumbling attitude, he's quite professional. His bumbling thing might almost be playing into the whole library aspect of House Susperetta. You knew several very successful operatives who use that kind of system.
Okay. I feel like we've already established that I used to / do still work for you. So why don't we just cut the shit and you stop the act? Because I feel like you're trying to.
You're a free spacer. You're not a member of our faction.
There we go. I thought I was past.
We'll love working with you. We really want to get this done. We're sending you to boldly explore this amazing new system. You could discover these great things. But you're a free spacer. You do what you do. We just negotiate this contract and you move forward. Coming at me aggressively like that will not lead to any more cargo for your cargo bay. So let's just actually look at this contract, okay?
I feel like we need to get some dirt on this guy.
Yeah.
Shall I hack him?
I'm just suspicious.
We're all suspicious, especially because we're watching the stream of you talking to this guy.
Yeah, so right about now, you're just leaving after getting all the hack information.
Oh, right.
And you're finishing up your research, and he's finally talking to him, and you're basically sitting in a closet next to, like, biotech cleaning gear, watching this conversation while you're still sitting in the library, kind of sick of being on the data flow. So, the contract.
Can I just apologize for my hostility? I'm new to this, and I don't want to lead my team into danger. So, I'm just trying to make sure that I know all the facts beforehand.
Okay, so what do you want to know?
What did I want to know?
Things about the ancients.
Things about the ancients. Yeah. I want to know the stuff
How much
that I
trouble
asked
we expected.
the lady scientist.
Oh, yeah,
and,
that too.
I got dragged up for.
Okay, so you go, I just want to know a little bit more about the ancients. They go, well, I know it was actually your crew, I think partially former crew, who actually were one of the earlier to deal with any direct ancient. We don't know if the ancients are actually real. This could have been a virus, crazy scientist. You know probably more of that information than I do. We got reports from XMI, a variety of artifacts that we had purchased from their facilities to do research on. We suspect that they had worlds at one time in PS69, or PS96, sorry. PS96, where that's why we're interested, because we had some physical records in that system was due to star chart analysis, looks like one of the systems that might have been an outpost and had a world listed. So if that world's still there, and we believe the ancients are gone and extinct, it's great. If they're not, we'll find amazing ancient civilization information, archaeology, it'll be great. And if they are gone, there's a world sitting out there perfectly waiting to be colonized. It's a win-win situation for us. It's great intelligence, rather than sending you willy-nilly off into the rim of the sector. Hell, this one's even in the prime. It's a great choice. That's why we're sending you. That's it. Now, on. Your patron commissioner said you take the contract. And it's a good contract, so let's just talk details.
Okay.
So, are you trying to gain back trust, or are you trying to fool him into thinking that you're totally cool with it? What's your approach here?
You cut off a bit, fool him into, and I didn't hear.
Into thinking that you guys are all fine with everything and that you're not going to be watching over your shoulders. I want to know what type of role you're going to use to finish building your reserve. What makes sense?
Now I'm taking a more passive approach. I'm more okay. I sort of see where you're coming from, even though internally I'm like, no, I don't understand this.
Okay, so you're doing the kind of I'm just a regular guy in a regular free space. I'm doing my job. I understand. I get it. You're not doing anything wrong.
Just checking there's no danger to my crew and all that.
I want to do good at my first job. Okay. I think it does sound kind of like you're lying. Performance is appropriate if you want to use that.
Yeah.
Okay, difficulty is 3.
Oh, wonderful. I should be able to crush this one. Let's see, though. 4 successes.
Oh!
There you go. Excellent. So 1, you get to charge your reactor.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
And
can't.
2, I'm putting 4 on here, so that increases your min to 11, and this one to 9. Okay, let's do the math, and then we'll be calling it an evening, I suspect, so that we can get Audie back for the actual flying around, the mission-y part. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to spend points on stuff that you really want to do and that you think will be a good payoff for you, things that are most likely. So, say you decide to take a bounty on the Marquita route operatives. There's no cost next to that because depending on what you find will be worth different amounts. So if you capture some of their ships and load them into your cargo bay, that'll be worth more than if you capture like a stock crew of a shuttle. And if you capture like a high-end like Marlin, she's going to be worth more than someone else. That's how bounties tend to work. The ones that I put numbers on are artifacts of Cassini Ancients. I pre-evaluated how much those are worth to give you a guideline. So you can see these are different bounties, and those are the different types of amounts that they're worth. Like, habitable world samples are going to be worth a lot, because they prove there's a habitable world. Well, a sample of Cassini Ancients themselves are worth a good amount, but not as much as the habitable world. It's slightly less valuable. But you might be able to get more of them if you find a big kind of amount of stuff. One of the things you know about from the last contract 1, is that there are these bottles, these weird square bottles filled with something. This may be what got into the guy that went crazy. But there was a bunch of them in that facility, and if you can find that sort of stuff, that would definitely be what the sample of the Cassini Ancients they're talking about. That would be that sort of thing. So you just have to decide where we put these remaining 9 points, and then we'll be done for the evening.
All right.
Can everyone see the sheet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what is most important to you? Claiming an archaeological site for House Sosparetta? Claiming the most optimal world? If there's only shitty worlds there and they don't have anything, it's going to kind of suck, but it could be worth a lot. Every point you put in that, it's going to be worth at least 100 RV. Or the bounties for habitable world samples, which means you have to go down to the planet and take those samples, which is using your sampler and agriculture or biosciences to get that sort of samples. The sample. So what do you guys think? I keep talking.
I know I have survey and analysis stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't have bioscience.
Same.
You can move things around. You can move one
I mean,
skill
I
around.
have 2 in bioscience, but I only have a point into medicine.
It's better than me. I have
one in
one in
bioscience.
I have 1 in bioscience.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that it would be all of them. You just have to be
I
able
don't
to
know.
take samples, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
But-
think
You can move stuff around before that session a little bit. You'll be able to move 1 trained skill around, so you can move out of mechatronics into biosciences, Liam, if you wanted, or move. Although you have nothing in engineering, you suck
No.
in engineering.
Yeah. The fifth guy.
hopefully
My
Audie
engineering
has
is
something
awesome.
in engineering.
Yeah,
Also, you
Audie
got
is a
engineering.
mechanic.
my engineering's pretty good.
All right, you guys are going to be doing the engineering stuff. I can hack. That's the engineering I can do.
Yeah, but you
I
can
can
move
hack it-
stuff out of that too.
I can. To be fair, I can hack and do field dive. Like I have some stuff down.
Yeah, you
I think-
technically, if you were going to move stuff around, you could move 1 out of. You don't have a lot of training to move around because of your expertise. You can move 1 out of like pulse projection into biosciences if you wanted.
Yeah.
Or move into agriculture. So you can do that sort of thing. So other samples of habitable worlds include like dirt, so geoscience is also appropriate. But
Okay.
that's not what we're really talking about. We're talking about what the sort of things you actually are most interested in, you think will make you the most RV. It's going to make you the most bank.
Get
Well-
everything, shove it in, figure it out.
Yeah. I think probably anything to do with worlds, because we're surveying the system, and that seems to be something we can do.
So do you want to put? Let's put some points in right now.
I'm gonna say at least. I would say at least 2 into claiming.
Habitable worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So claiming the optimal world, you want to put 2 in that.
Yeah.
We definitely want some ancient stuff.
Yes, that too.
Because we're gonna try and get as much ancient crap as we can. And we will more than likely run into
Marquis de Rue.
certain somebody. Yes.
Yeah, Marlin.
Okay, so I put 1 in the archaeological site, 1 in the optimal world. You want the bounties? Let's just put 1 in each and see how many points we get left over.
I think we're putting 1 in Marquis de Rue and not in 8th Avatar or Seekers of the Return because they're not going to show up.
I got that.
Yep.
No worries.
You may have picked up at some point some of me, having to go at the guy from every.
Yeah.
Did you see the way he cut the shit though, guys? After I said that.
Seriously. Exactly. He just. I wanted to be like in the middle of conversation. Sequoia setting it as like he's a stooge. Like throw that in there.
Okay, so see that distribution that leaves you with 2 points that you can put into what you want.
Ooh.
So this is basically going to mean the bounties for your Marquis de Rue operatives are going to be at no bonus. So you get whatever their values are. And there's a whole variety of values. This will basically mean the bounty is going to be for every artifact you get 80 RV. Every Cassini ancient sample you get 150. Every habitable sample indicating a habitable world. Every sample indicating a habitable world, not habitable twice, is 175. If you put an extra point in this, it will increase those samples cost by 10. So you'll get more. And then this will mean this is worth 200. So let me put this in. Copy. Oh. Come on, let me copy it. Okay. Okay. Paste. So this is going to be worth 100.
Are you making changes because I can't see them? Oh, there we go.
It doesn't happen until I move out of the field. So that is what you currently are, but you have 2 points left. So if you increase either of these, you could increase that to 200 and 300, or you could increase plus 10 RV per. It's kind of a gamble. That's the difference between bounties and straight objectives, right?
I think I would personally want to throw another one into claiming archaeological sites, so we get 200 just to do it. Like, that seems pretty simple. It just says any archaeological site, so if you only find one, it's still 200, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I personally think the most optimal world thing is probably not going to be the best one, because who knows if we just find a bunch of hospitable planets.
Yeah, and then one of them is the most optimal. There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a for sure, but it means you probably won't get the habitable world aspect of them.
Yeah.
So now you're at 1 point. You just have to figure out where you want to spend that.
Maybe put it into the bounty for artifacts so we get 90 per?
Yeah, go on.
Do you see what's going on?
No. But I agree.
I don't know. They really seem to not like the Marquis.
It's true, but that's like everyone, because they're like sort of terrorists.
But like you said, or like you found out,
Yeah.
they were really interested in this, so we'll more than likely run into them.
It's
You
true.
did find out information about them sending a carrier full of shuttles out there. So if you get plus 10 on everything you take.
Well then,
Yeah, go on. Do it there, then. That makes sense.
I was about to say, Captain, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm
Let's do
the
it then.
captain.
You're the captain now.
I'm in charge of this ship after
Yes.
berating people and calling people waste of space.
All right, I'm good
Yeah,
with
aggressive with everyone.
adding
Krog had
Marquis de Rue.
That
Greg
just
had
means
no
you're gonna
problem
be-
with that.
More into having to kill and bring back proof of kills than if you put it in these, which means you could run away from those dudes and put more into finding the optimal worlds.
No. Captain William is very for killing everything inside.
Inside the ship, I think I got the shields down. He's got the piloting down. Somebody's got guns. We're good.
That's
Yeah,
Audie.
exactly.
Audie's your shooter. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
And
the
I'll just
only
keep on
other
my
thing
ship
that
this
we
time.
might want to talk about
Secret warship.
is you can go into debt on these and put a bunch of stuff onto trade articles if you want to do things like upgrade or buy stuff to use there. So when you heal yourself, you're using complex materials.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look on your ship, you use supply and complex materials. So supply is used for like putting armor on your EVA suits and your ship suit. It's used for a bunch of different modules if you have any, which I don't think you do. So like, see your RAM that you don't have or your launcher, those costs next to chaff and torpedo and inflating boarding lock or the scan blockers for your secret concealed holes and stuff, that's how much it costs to use those things. Every time you fire it costs you like 9 supply every time you fire a torpedo. So that's what supply is used for. Supply is also used for like I'm being a clever Star Trek character and doing science projects. So this whole fabrication and construction projects, which are almost entirely powered by supply. So if you want to build something, like you're like, I need to make my gun more powerful for like one use, you can build a short-term mod for your multi-tool, that sort of thing. But that's all going to cost supply to build. So that's what supply is used for. The complex materials, which you have 13 of, are used to heal your characters. So to get rid of patches or conditions, or to upgrade your characters. So you could buy some of those right now. They would cost you 10 per complex material, 5 per supply, and you could buy them right now. You're going to be trading out in the end of the contract on this stuff anyways. So if you want to get some now, you can. Or you can wait till next week and we can add it, because you can kind of do it at any time.
I say we add it when we have our other crewmate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late.
Cool. So I hope you guys have a slightly better idea of how everything works. And I hope you had fun.
Definitely.
And I'm sorry we didn't take a break. We usually take one in the middle, but I think we were in the middle of some scenes, and then we felt like we were close to the end. So I just didn't bother.
I had stacks. I'm good.
There you go. All the meat you could eat.
All of the meat.
Anyways, thank you for coming, and I hope we didn't wake up your friend too much, Leo.
No, he did move couches a second ago.
Now I get to see why my roommates kept knocking. So.
And thanks to I don't know if we'll have too many viewers, but hopefully we'll have some more on the other channels or something, or maybe YouTube. Anyways, I'll see you all next Monday, I hope, and hopefully Audie will be there as well.
Okie dokie.
Okay, talk to you guys soon.
See you.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.